is a gorgeous Saturday afternoon here in New York City. A big crowd expected at the stadium. A lot of kids as well. They'll see baseball on a sun-splashed field here in the Bronx. As today, the Yes Network presents New York Yankees baseball. It's the defending world champion New York Yankees against the Chicago White Sox in the middle game of a three-game set from Yankee Stadium in the Bronx. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Yankees baseball, along with Al Leiter. I'm Michael Kay. Well, the Yankees won the first game of the series last night. Now in Game 2, Javi Vasquez will take them out. And that obviously is the storyline today. He struggled. There's no getting around that. And the first question to you, Al, how much of that is confidence?
I think much of it is confidence. Anytime a baseball player is not doing his job, you start struggling, you look for mechanical reasons. But I think right now it is a confidence issue with Javi.
Okay, now with confidence, how much of that dictates pitch selection, Al?
You know, he's a guy that has got great slider, great curveball, great changeup. And I think here in Anaheim, he had kind of a dichotomy of using his out pitch, but not really command with it. And I think it's really a command issue. He's got a couple strikeouts with a good breaking ball down off the plate. He got Torrey Hunter with one that was breaking away. But when you get your breaking ball, especially in two-count situations, and you leave it up in the zone and the hitters are looking for it, sometimes they hit it hard.
And sometimes you get knocked out of the game. That's what happened with Vasquez. Let's look at the breakdown. 37% fastballs last start. Now, last year with the Braves, when they had such a good season, 50% of his pitches were fastballs. Now, on 0-2 counts, he hasn't been able to put people away. They're hitting 400. Last year, 0-91 in those situations. Well, the Yankees now have to look at Javi Vasquez on a mechanical standpoint as well. When we get back, Al Leiter is going to break that down. Please stop poking us here on Yes. He said that he's getting under the ball. He wants him to get over the ball. So explain what that means.
I think Javi's done that most of his career. But what Joe's talking about is that when you get under a baseball, Javi's a guy that uses his lower half. And anytime you get a pitcher who drops a little bit, Michael, you get under the baseball. And what's happening is he's becoming very rotational. As opposed to getting through the baseball, north-south, Javi, obviously I'm left-handed, he's getting a little bit left to right or right to left, east-west, as opposed to staying back, utilizing the backside of the ball, and getting through the baseball. It's more of this approach as opposed to left and right. And that's basically the most simplest way of saying under the baseball.
All right, now why would somebody get under the baseball? Is he trying to generate too much power? Why would you fall into that mechanical trap?
I think this, and watching Javi, he's a guy that uses lower half. The biggest problem with getting under the baseball, there's a lot of guys that use the lower half and push the ball, but you want to make sure that your hand doesn't get off to the side. You want to get on top of the baseball and still get through. That's part of it. You're trying to generate more velocity. Therefore, the ball becomes flat. You want a good plane. When the ball's flat, hitters can see that.
Now, it seems easy, Al. Why would you not be able to correct that easily? Just get on top of the ball.
Michael, it's milliseconds. There's a lot that goes on when you struggle, and on the idea of you're trying to find that little something. I think this is part of Javi's delivery. We'll watch today.
Should be very interesting. A lot of people are going to be watching this. The Yankees want to straighten this guy out. When we come back, lineups, first pitch, baseball, next on Yes. Stop touching me, okay? That's all I'm asking. You hear what John's saying?
What's up, buddy?
There'd be kids screaming in every living room. Tell them to stop touching me, John.
I only have one.
What a dainty little bite that was. Your phone's ringing out. Would you pick it up? Do people realize that you're working?
It's not ringing there, dude. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1 for 5. It's 200.
IOTV offers you incredible HD picture and sound. HD is free with IOTV. By NYSERDA. Go to ShiningExampleNY.com to find out how you can be in one of our next TV commercials. And by Avis, the official rental car company of the New York Yankees. Yankees have taken the field. Let's take a look at the White Sox starting lineup that will face Javi Vasquez. It's presented by Lexus. The White Sox are struggling, come in at 9-14. And they're going to lead off Omar Vizquel. Gordon Beckham at second, Andrew Jones in center, Paul Konerko is the first baseman, Martin at third, Carlos Quinton the DH, A.J. Brzezinski will catch, Mark Kotze in right, and Juan Pierre is in left. Vasquez ready, so is Vizquel. Let's do it here in the Bronx. There's the strike, the game underway. Vizquel, 43 years old. Not many 43-year-old leadoff guys. He's won for his last 17. White Sox desperately searching for a leadoff hitter, somebody that can do the job. Juan Pierre had been leading off, but he's won for his last 19, and as you saw, he's batting number 9. There's a ground ball to second. Cano. One away.
Let's take a look at Javi Vasquez, 33-year-old, be making his 5th start of the year. Obviously, that 9 ERA, I'd like to see that get down. The hits to innings ratio is not good. Still has the 18 strikeouts in the 20 innings. Let's take a look at the Jeep pitcher scout report. First pass through the batting order, first time around, 194. After that, it gets to 390. Socked the Sox, 3-0 in 3 games start in his career, 24 innings with a 1.88. Done very well against the White Sox. He gets the punch-outs. Struck out at least one batter in 324 consecutive starts dating back to May 2000. It's about a command issue and just maintaining a good aggressive approach, getting a good count, seeing deep in the count. 1-2, 2-2 counts. His breaking ball has to be better than it's been.
And there's a strike count, 0-2. Now, Vasquez actually pitched for the White Sox from 06 through 08 and was 38-36 with a 4.40 ERA. Popped up behind the plate. Posada tosses away the mask and actually hits the home plate umpire, Mark Wegner, who has to run into Andrew Jones on deck. So you toss away the mask, you don't care where it's being tossed, and they did get Wegner.
Well, he tracks it as soon as he sees where... Oh, hit him.
Could have knocked out 2 people with one mask.
I said Andrew Jones.
The 0-2. Swing and a miss. Got him. Fastball upstairs. Take a look at the Yankees defense behind Javier Vasquez. It's brought to you by Mercedes. In the outfield, Gardner, Granderson, and Swisher. That's left to right. Infield, Rodriguez, Jeter, Cano, and Teixeira. Posada behind the plate, and Vasquez is on the mound. You see his numbers against the White Sox lifetime.
Well, with that strikeout 325, they said he's the second longest among active pitchers. I'm not sure why, Michael, they have Pedro Martinez as first. I didn't know Pedro was still active, but he's got 327 game start.
Here's Andrew Jones. 6 home runs for Jones, but 4 for his last 23. That one's fouled back. Now, Vasquez has a little incentive. Obviously, he wants to straighten the season out, but he would love to beat the White Sox because when he left the White Sox, Ozzie Guillen, their manager, had some very unflattering things to say about the right-hander, saying that he wasn't a big-game pitcher, and that's just the way Javi is. There's that breaking ball, and it's a high fly ball to left field. Gardner drifts back. He's on the track, near the wall, leaps. See ya! Home run for Andrew Jones. Now the White Sox are up 1-0. Seventh home run for Jones.
Well, that was his first breaking ball. We talked about it in the open about the inconsistency of his command. Now, I don't think it's necessarily not throwing it, but look right just down the middle. You have a 1-strike count. You got to be better with your breaking balls, especially, look, the scout reports are what they are. Just getting in the seats out of the outstretched reach of Gardner. That was a 6th home run, career home run off of Javi Vasquez, Andrew Jones. Just being real conscious of for Javi Vasquez that when you throw in your breaking ball especially, make sure you're on the corners or be mindful of that. Oh, just had enough hang time. Just kept drifting. See the way that Gardner went after it. Thought he had it.
The 1-0. Now, lifetime, get these numbers. Al mentioned the 6th home run by Andrew Jones against Vasquez. Andrew is now 21 for 52 against Javi Vasquez with 7 doubles and 6 home runs. He was scratched from yesterday's lineup with a stiff back, but he's fine today. With stats like that, your back clears up.
Well, Andrew Jones, especially as he's gotten older, he was always a high fastball hitter, Michael, and you know, anytime a player gets a little older and the bat speed gets slower, that becomes slider speed bat, especially the ball middle of the plate, a little above the belt as that pitch was.
And he walks Konerko. Just underway here in New York City. Yankees won yesterday, 6-4. Alfredo Aceves got the win in relief of Andy Pettit. Mariano Rivera nailed down the save. And Derek Jeter had a very good night with 4 RBIs, a single, a triple, and a home run. Breaking ball is a strike to Martin. Yankees have won 3 in a row, the final 2 on the road against the Orioles, and the first one here against the White Sox. A little life on the fastball today, as he is in the White Sox to swing and miss. That was a 90-mile-an-hour fastball. Count 0-2.
Yeah, talking about Javi's velocity, he earlier in his career with the Expos, Michael, he consistently was in the low 90s. But the last couple of years, he's been right at that 90 mark. This year so far, almost 89 miles an hour. Last year was right at about 91. And you say, well, okay, it's only a couple miles an hour, but that that matters, especially for one, if you're not doing it and you're not as successful and you realize the numbers aren't corresponding with what you need to do to be a successful pitcher, you start thinking about it, knowing that my velocity's down, I got to be on the corners, and therefore you're making bad pitches because you're forcing it. I think that little extra zip, that we saw yesterday with Freddie Garcia, just baffled for the most part, most of the night. The Yankee hitters wasn't throwing 87 miles an hour. Certainly could have success, but it's more about the mindset of, okay, if your stuff isn't as good, where do I have to be to get hitters out? That was a good pitch right there. And then you mentioned in this a crisp fastball. I guess he got that upstairs, Mark Wegner, because that's on the corner.
Posada held it there, trying to get Mark Wegner to say strike. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Runner at first, 1 run in. And now that runner's going to be going on 3-2. And Teixeira is going to tell Vasquez, listen, I'm going to play behind Konerko.
We're talking about in the open about him throwing a lot of breaking balls. So far, of his 19 pitches, only 1 was a breaking, or 2 was a breaking ball. First pitch to Tien, and then the slider that Andrew Jones hit out. And that's part of the plan. You certainly sit down and you realize what's transpired over your starts. You're trying to figure it out mechanically, or maybe just repertoire-wise. So far, he's established the fact that he's going to use his fastball more.
Runner goes 3-2. High fly ball, right center field, and Granderson is there, and that'll do it. But the White Sox get a run on the Andrew Jones home run. They strand 1, Chicago 1. The New York Yankees coming about.
On the mound for the White Sox, left-handed pitcher John Danks. What a year so far that he's having for the White Sox, and a good start, 4-0 or 3-0 with the 5th start. 1.55 ERA, fantastic all the way around. Look at the opponent's batting average against 183. Let's take a look at the G pitcher scout report. Ace in the wings, I tell you that because of Mark Burley's holding that down right now, but this guy's got that kind of stuff. Cutter bores right. Right-handed batters are about 139. He's got a cut fastball that'll be in on the right. He's 320 left-handed batters and works fast. He throws a lot of strikes. So far this year, almost 68% of his first pitch have been strikes like that.
Derek Jeter looks at a first pitch strike. Count 0-1. Yankees 15-7. And since 2006, they're 12-2 here in the Bronx against the White Sox. Danks quickly ahead 0-2. Danks certainly comes from an athletic family. His brother Jordan is a member of the White Sox organization. He's an outfielder playing at AAA. Hitting .278 there. 2 homers and 7 ribbies in 20 games. And his father, John, actually played on the Texas basketball team, 77 through 80. 4-year letterman there. High fly ball. Deep left center. Going back, Andrew Jones, and he'll make the play. Let's look at the game time weather conditions presented by Bigelow Tea. In a word, it's gorgeous. Numbers, though, 78 degrees, 44% humidity. The wind is east-southeast at 8 miles per hour. And as you can see, there's not a cloud in the sky. It is sunny, and it's actually supposed to get much hotter than 78 degrees. In fact, I saw on TV, too, this morning that it's going to be a record high for this day, 87 degrees.
Good. It's about time.
You like that?
Yeah, beautiful.
All right. Here's Nick Swisher. Swings at the first pitch and hits a high fly ball to left center. Pierre back. He's on the track, and he makes the play in front of the wall for the second out.
Well, they're jumping on the set about 68% at first pitch. Gets a fastball, inner half, just in enough. I mentioned about the batting average against. That ball has a little cut to it. Where the right-handed hitters see that ball, middle of the plate, ends up cutting in just enough. Nick Swisher wasn't able to get the good part of the barrel of the bat. Well, that would have been in the visitors' bullpen.
Here's Mark Teixeira. It is May. And Mark Teixeira is glad to see April in his rearview mirror. Didn't have a good April. The worst month of his career, 136, 2 homers, 9 ribbies. Count 1-1. Fouled away.
I mean, that's just, here's a great hitter. Almost was MVP last year in the American League. And, you know, to think that a month, a name, words, dates has something to do with the back of your baseball card, and it has consistently through his career.
235 hitter in March and April throughout his career, and that's obviously the lowest average throughout the season for him. Now, Mark's going to say it's not a big deal, and that's what he was saying before the game today. But it is, because we always say, and Yogi Berra said it best, 90% of the game is half mental. So if you know you don't hit in April, you know what? You're probably not going to hit in April. And in May, you hit. So a base hit for Teixeira to start off this new month.
You know, and also, too, part of that, as you say, Yogi Berra, but the mental side is that you have to answer to it, especially in New York. I mean, he's done it his whole career. It's a little changeup going down the way. It ended up cutting middle of the plate. Teixeira being able to stay back enough. Good crisp thing over the left. And it's because of that, Michael, the constant questions, and then you go in and you work with the hitting coach, Kevin Long, down in the batting cage, and it festers, and it's the whole vicious cycle of trying to get out of a slump and keeping it out of your head.
Here's Alex Rodriguez. Alex is 1 for his last 23. Yesterday he had an RBI single in the first inning. That broke an 0 for 19 slide. Now, Alex had 2 home runs and 84 at-bats during the month of April. The lowest home run total of his career for a calendar month in which he had more than 70 at-bats. But he's not stressing out. He feels like he's not in a terrible slump, even with those numbers hitting 250. Swing and a miss.
But you know what helps, too, for a guy like Alex is when you're in the middle of the lineup, and even with Teixeira's struggles, you see Robinson Cano has been a big part of that April offense. The team's winning. Well, if the team is struggling and they're way back and they've got bad record or under 500, then it becomes much harder to deal with.
Also, Alex Rodriguez had one of the great postseasons that you'll ever have. And Ricky Leday, former Yankee outfielder who had 6 hits and 10 at-bats in the 98 World Series against the Padres, once told me, he said, once you perform like that in a big game, you're never nervous about anything again. You never worry about slumps because you know that you could do it on the biggest stage. The 2-1. Hot shot to short. Slick fielding Vizquel will go the short way, and that will do it here in the first. No runs a hit, no errors, and 1 man left on base. We've played 1 inning on a beautiful day in New York. It's 1-0 White Sox. And it is 1-0 White Sox, middle game of this 3-game set. Let's check in with Kimberly Jones, who's in the third base camera well. Now, Kim, you're dressed in a light paisley shirt. It's a gorgeous day down there. Tell me how it feels to be out and about. We're here in a booth. We can't really experience the weather.
It's fantastic. It is glorious. Sunny skies, blue skies. I might not come back to the booth, and I can assure you the vendors aren't selling hot chocolate today, Michael.
Now, are you surprised that I knew that your shirt was paisley?
You never surprise me.
Were you surprised, Kim, that Mark Teixeira in his first at bat in May got a hit?
He's batting 1,000. Yeah,
yep.
He'll like that statistic. In April, as we know, Mark Teixeira, always a slow starter. This one was really slow, 136. He told me today, if I had all the answers about why I start slow, I wouldn't start slow, would I? Which makes sense. He said he was also hitting line drives at people and ground balls that didn't find holes. Well, that one in the first found a hole, so he'll like that as well. Mark also said we're not going to crown an AL East champion tomorrow. If you don't judge teams after 22 games, you should really wait to judge players' numbers until you get to game 162. Tells me he's also not frustrated because his at-bats have been good. Indeed, he does have 17 walks, 18 strikeouts, but balancing them out with 17 walks. Has had some good at-bats. And Joe Girardi says, it's human nature if he is frustrated, but I can promise you, Michael, Teixeira won't admit that he is.
Now, let me ask you this, Kim, because I wasn't there when you had the conversation. Was he defensive?
That's a good question. I would say slightly. I did try to ask him about that, if it was bothering him that I was even asking him. I said, have you noticed it's May 1st? He just looked at me. He said, no, not at all. I don't know what day of the week it is, what day it is, or what month it is. So no frustration, but those were his answers.
I like Mark, but I'm going to choose not to believe him. I think he knew that it was May today. Now, Jorge Posada also knows that his name is in the lineup today after missing 2 starts after being hit. What's his physical status right now? Well,
he took 2 rounds of BP yesterday, and that's when Girardi figured he would have Posada today. He did wait till Posada reported with a lot of his teammates around 11:30 to actually post the lineup. Jorge told me, I'm fine, everything's good. And I said to Tony Pena, so Jorge's good enough to be out there? He said, oh, no, this isn't about being good enough to be out there. He's fine. He's absolutely fine. He said, when you're a catcher, you're not used to being pain-free. So he's not necessarily pain-free, but he's good, Michael, not good enough.
Well, sounds good. So we'll see how he is. So he started the game after 2 games with Cervelli behind the plate. Kim, I know that you're going to probably stay down there for a couple of innings. I've got some SPF we're going to send down so you don't get burned.
Send some cash for the vendors, too, Mike.
Oh, that's right. You have to borrow money from me. Okay. We'll talk to you later on the postgame, Kim.
Thank you, Michael.
Carlos Quinton works a walk against Vasquez. The count 0-2 on A.J. Przinsky. And the pitch is upstairs, 1-2. What do we have to do one of these days, Al? We have to broadcast the game from outside.
Would
like
you
in
like
the bleachers, I'd love to, yeah. With security, of course.
Why do you need security?
Yeah, people don't like me.
Between here?
Well, you.
Not true.
The 1-2 gets past Posada, and that's going to allow Quinton to move to second.
Looking for the slider in. Javi just yanks it. We talked about how he gets a little rotational, and that's a product right there of hooking it, basically getting your hand around it and then just throwing a lawn dart. Wanting to make sure he buries that in. That down and in is nitro zone for any left-hander. Especially here at Yankee Stadium with right field fence being what it is.
One nothing White Sox, runner at second. Nobody out here in the top of the second inning. Przinsky struggling, 4 for his last 38, 169 overall. Popped up down the left field line. Giving chase is Gardner. He can't get there. It's a foul ball. Hey, it's way too early to be scoreboard watching, but in case you enjoy this sort of thing, it was a good night for the Yankees last night. They won. Tampa Bay lost, and so did the Red Sox. So the Yankees are game and a half behind Tampa Bay in the East. Tampa Bay 17-6. Yankees 15-7. Then Toronto is next at 12-12. Boston 11-12, and Baltimore 5-18. Baltimore beat Boston. The 2-2. Grounded up the middle. Cano. He'll throw to first. The stretch by Teixeira, and it pulled him off the bag. So Przinsky beats it out. Moving to third is Quinton. So they give a base hit there?
Said Dan Isonia, the first base umpire, saying that he pulled him off. Had he not pulled him off, that would have been out. Obviously, it would have. Oh, it looked like he went back and tagged it. See, Robbie Cano made an unbelievable play down in Baltimore. Watch his toe. No.
I don't know if the spike got the bag. So Vasquez now in a little bit of a jam after this play.
This had a little sail to it. There's plenty of time.
I think Cano had time there to get set with Przinsky running. There's Mark Kotze. Pitch outside. Now on the play in Baltimore that you're talking about, in the third inning, Nolan Reimold running much faster than Przinsky, so he didn't have time to set and fired to first. That time I think he did, but he's just so comfortable with that flip throw. And it was to the home plate side of first, pulling Teixeira off the bag. (1-0), 2-0.
So now this visit here from Joe Girardi. Now he's missing that last pitch when you saw Jorge set up on the outside part of the plate. He kind of hooked it. Now this is just a pep talk of let's go. You got good stuff. Pound the gloves. Stay with Jorge.
Do those pep talks work?
You know, it all depends. Yes, they do, but you know, it depends on where mentally you are. But you realize when the manager comes out, it's definitely a jar the cage kind of visit.
Missed outside. Who was the best pep talk manager you ever had?
I like Piniella.
Really?
Piniella used to distract me into the other things other than the obvious of make a pitch.
3-0. Strike. Count 3-1.
As fiery as Lou was, I remember one instant it was in Boston, and he asked if back then they were only on Channel 9, I think.
Channel 11.
Or 11. And he said, is your mom watching the game? I said, well, no, she's not even watching. She's in the stands. He said, really? He turned around and we're looking in the stands to see where she was. This was a visit.
Well, so far the pep talk didn't work, and the bases are loaded with nobody out, and the crowd's starting to get restless here at the stadium.
Such a lonely place, Michael. I believe in Javi. I think he's got the stuff. He's a 4-pitch pitcher. It's easy to just reel into. You're not sure where to go, lose your aggressiveness, afraid of contact, get in bad counts, and that's usually when a big mistake happens.
Here's Juan Pierre, 1 for his last 19. Swings at the first pitch and pops it up. Just what Vasquez needed as Jeter puts it away for the first out. That's a big out for the Yankee right-hander.
Huge out, especially Juan Pierre. You mentioned about how he's struggling in his career. He's a 373. Well, now that's going to go down, but with the bases loaded. Got the high fastball, but this is a situation right here. You watch Omar Vizquel, that was a struggling spot for the White Sox in leadoff position. Only 9 runs scored so far. The #1 hole hitter's only produced a batting average about 180.
Pitch to Omar Vizquel is outside 1-0. Bases loaded now, 1 out, a ground ball away from getting out of a jam. Count 2-0.
Well, that's the old adage, Michael. You get 1 out, and obviously you're 1 pitch away from getting out of it with a double play opportunity.
Quinton, Przinsky, and Kotze, third to first. Bases loaded with White Sox. 2-0. There's a strike. Count 2-1. Vizquel also slumping, 1 for his last 18.
Yeah, this White Sox offense, it's last in the American League, and certainly Ozzie Guillen's trying to figure out a mix and match to get more production.
2-1. Count 2-2.
So far, those last 2 fastballs from Vasquez that were down in the zone, crisp, even 88, 89 miles an hour, but late movement. Ideally, a ground ball pitch is somewhere down in the zone.
And the 2-2. Shallow fly ball center field. Quinton is tagging. Granderson makes the catch. Here's the throw. It's cut off by Teixeira, and they have the runner held up. That's Brzezinski. Tag him out, and that'll do it. So the run scores, and all things considered, Vasquez wiggles out of it relatively unscathed. White Sox score 1 on 1 hit, and they lead 1, 2-0 Chicago. Pierre Jones and Kotze left to right. Andrew Jones, a 10-time Gold Glove winner. In the infield, T and Vizquel, Beckham and Panerco. That's third to first. Vizquel, 11 times he's won the Gold Glove at short. The most ever, 13 by Ozzie Smith. Brzezinski behind the plate. Danks on the mound. Beautiful Saturday afternoon in the Bronx. White Sox lead 2-0. You would think, Al, that you'd get some confidence. Bases loaded, nobody out. You give up just 1 run.
You would, but if you're in the right mindset, you're absolutely right, Michael. You would get out of that saying, "Okay, I got it. I dodged the bullet here. Only 1 run." But part of the whole demeanor is that you have to believe in what you're doing, and what you're doing, meaning the success of your execution of your pitches. And there's plenty of times you can get people out where it's not really where you want the pitch. That high fastball to Vizquel.
Cano pops it up. Tien will put it away. 1 down.
We'll see how that works out.
IOTV offers you incredible HD picture and sound. HD is free with IOTV, the official HD service provider of Yankees baseball on Yes. Jorge Posada having a lot of trouble getting the batting practice or the weighted part of the bat off, so he's going to have to jog back to the on-deck circle. There he goes. Gets it done. It's just not happening. Just not happening. He's going to call it a donut, but that's bigger than a donut.
No, that's not
like a cruller. It's a weight cruller.
A cruller?
Count 1-0 on Posada. Posada pinch hit yesterday and struck out. Missed 2 starts because of a sore knee. Back of the right knee, a contusion. Jeremy Guthrie hit him. And it's going to be interesting to see because Guthrie is going to start one of the games that the Orioles play Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday here at the stadium. Jeremy was very, very apologetic after the game. But then the next day, he didn't want to talk to the media, and he actually removed his nameplate from his locker at Camden Yards.
Really?
Yeah, I guess he wanted to be invisible. 3-0. There's a strike.
Well, I don't think, well, Posada has said that he didn't think it was on purpose. Other than the fact that it hurt, you had a guy in Guthrie who was command-wise all over the place.
Guthrie is set to go on Monday against the Yanks. Rounded up the middle. Vizquel still smooth at 43 and a backhanded scoop by Konerko.
Well, you said it, Michael. 43 years old, still playing a major league shortstop. Good range, spin. Nice play from Konerko, a little short hop.
So Vizquel's only a year younger than you, Al. Right?
Right. What are you trying to imply there, kid?
Nothing. 11 Gold Gloves. His idol Luis Aparicio has 9. Now, he's also wearing Aparicio's number 11, which is retired with the White Sox. But he worn 13 his whole career, and Ozzie Guillen, the manager of the team, wears number 13. So he went to Aparicio, his idol, and said, would you mind if they just unretired it if I played for the White Sox? And Aparicio said it would be an honor. So that's why he wears number 11 now. Count 1-2 on Marcus Timms.
Full circle. I think that's a neat story, and a guy that obviously they all looked up to as a legend, a Hall of Fame Venezuelan legend, Luis Aparicio. Now here, Omar Vizquel, what a career, 20 years in the big leagues.
Count 3-2 on Marcus Timms. How about this for hot? 10 hits in his last 14 at-bats. That's Central Park. Between at-bats, you go get an icy, something like that. That's how hot he is. Softball league hot. And he walks.
What a bat. A couple of change-ups there in a row. Don Danks, a guy who throws a lot of strikes. And that's when you know, Mike, that you mentioned him, Tim's being hot. You end up swinging at your pitch as opposed to the pitcher's pitch.
Curtis Granderson was at the ballpark before most of the other Yankees, and he was working in the indoor batting cage with Kevin Long, and also Brett Gardner was watching because Curtis has really struggled. 3 for his last 32. And his average has dipped to 221. He got off to that initial strong start. And now 3 for his last 32. There's a strike.
Well, last night he hit a couple, first at bat, a scorched one to Konerko, and then hit another hard line drive out to right field. You got to play off something. When the numbers aren't reflective of getting the results, you got to fall back on something. Laying off pitches like that, getting a good pitch to drive. The old adage, if you keep hitting them hard, they eventually fall in. Rudy Garcia pitched a good ball game last night.
Count 2-2. Worry coming into the season about how Curtis would do against lefties, hitting 172 against them. Last year, 183. 250 against righties. And now the count 3-2. That's going to release Marcus Timms at first. 3-2 and 2 outs. Brett Gardner's on deck. Runner goes, 3-2. Sky-high fly to left center field. Andrew Jones lopes over, still as smooth as ever, puts it away for the final out of the second. Yankees lead 1. It's 2-0 Chicago. For 3 years with the White Sox, and now maybe a little piece of gamesmanship. Vasquez was taking the field, and then all 4 umpires converged on him. Joe Girardi came out. They're looking at something, whether it be the glove or his uniform, and they're going to make him go inside and change something. What do you think it could be? Do you think it's the glove?
Well,
the glove is two-tone.
Yeah, but two-tone's okay. 3 colors is not, and it's the color of most baseball gloves. I don't know. Something with the glove.
Now, if it's just the glove, though, why would he be taking this long to come back out? Maybe it was something with the uniform. And what Guillen's trying to do, if Guillen exactly initiated this, is play with his head.
Totally. I think it's more that than anything else. That's exactly what it is. Because, there's some guys, I forget a few, they would have bright color blues and oranges and reds, and it's not supposed to be that colorful to be a distraction to the hitter. Vasquez's glove didn't look that out of the norm.
Well, here comes Javi. Looks like he has a new glove, so it was the glove. Although that glove doesn't look that much different. Well, it's more all brown, one color brown.
Yeah, Ozzy's messing with him, I would think.
Yeah, that is definitely all brown. The other one had brown and then light brown about it as well. There's the difference right there. So you have the light brown and then the darker brown, and now it's all the color of the dark brown. So you're saying you can have 2 colors,
yes.
It's not 3.
Yeah, I know 3 colors is out, but and then I
well, there's 3 colors there: light brown, and then the W on the Wilson is yellow.
I honestly don't know the problem there, Michael. Obviously there is. Dale Scott, the crew chief, wouldn't have changed the glove.
All right, so as Javi Vasquez warms up, let's look at the American Airlines upcoming schedule. One more game against the White Sox. That's tomorrow afternoon. And then the Orioles come into town. Guthrie on Monday, as we mentioned. So Monday and Tuesday night. Wednesday afternoon. Thursday's an off day. And then how about that? The Yankees go out on the road one more time. Well, I shouldn't say one more time. Many more times. You have 3 games against the Red Sox. Then 4 games in Detroit against Johnny Damon and the Tigers.
Well, somewhere along the line in this schedule, they play 81 home dates that the Yankees are going to enjoy a long homestand or 2.
Actually, this month there's a lot of home games because 3 of the away games are at City Field, so it's not like you leave your apartment. Here's Gordon Beckham against Javi Vasquez. Count 1-0. 41 pitches so far for Vasquez. 42 now. Count 2-0. Two nothing White Sox. Fouled away. Beckham struck out in the first inning. Now on deck for the White Sox is Andrew Jones. He had a home run his first time. And Andrew Jones ended the bottom of the second inning. You got to check this out. He's going to catch this fly ball and look away before it even goes into his glove. Now he's not even looking. That is too cool for school, Al.
That's it. You know, if he drops that, that would be certainly something that everybody, not only his own starting pitcher, but his manager, would be awfully ticked off about.
Popped up. Posada gives it a look. Runs out of room.
But hard to know anything against a guy who's got so many gold gloves. Yeah, he's playing with Juan Pierre, I think.
He actually goes out to the ball, and you think he's not tracking it because there's no hurried nature to it at all. Very, very smooth, almost nonchalant. But when you win Gold Gloves, you can do that.
You know who used to do that was Devon White. Just the gait and the glide was so smooth. Always got to the ball.
Swing and a miss. Beckham down on strikes on the fastball. So he has struck out twice against Vasquez.
You know, Javi just went right after Beckham with all fastballs. There was an instant when he got behind the 2-0 count. Posada called the slider, and then Posada had him step off. He went back to the fastball. His velocity was up there in that last one, 91 miles an hour.
Here is Andrew Jones. Jones's career has been somewhat enigmatic. He burst upon the scene as an 18-year-old with the Atlanta Braves, and over the last couple of years, just a precipitous dive in production. It's just all gone away. Now, he's been here a long time, but he's still relatively young at 34. And the White Sox took a chance signing him, and he's actually rewarded them with 7 home runs. But he is not the player that he once was.
Not at all, Michael. He had a 51 home runs in 2005, 41 and 6.
15 seasons in the big leagues. All-Star 5 times, 10 Gold Gloves. And those 10 Gold Gloves were consecutively from 98 to 2003, 2007.
Ended up having a lot of knee issues and hamstring issue. I know his knee bothered him considerably when he was with the Dodgers after signing as a free agent at the end of 2007.
The Dodgers regretted that contract almost immediately. I believe they paid him $16 million a year, and they had no production out of him at all.
They just gave him away.
They gave him away. Just gave him away. But maybe he's getting it back here with the White Sox. 2-2. Breaking ball away. $2 years, $36 million with the Dodgers. That's $18 a year. Deep drive, left center field, giving chase is Gardner, and another home run for Andrew Jones. It is 3-0 White Sox. Yankee fans got their first look at Andrew Jones in the '96 series, and he hit 2 home runs in 1 game then.
Well, here he is with his 8th home run of the year. Javi Vasquez stayed with the breaking ball the entire count until he got the 3-2 and ended up leaving this fastball. Posada wanting it away, ends up leaking middle of the plate. He's put a good swing on it. He's got 7 home runs now off of Vasquez.
And he's 22 for 53 lifetime. There's a strike to Konerko. So the White Sox building a picket fence. 1 run in the first, 1 in the second, 1 in the third. Those are the numbers against Vasquez. 415. Popped up. Granderson. 2 outs.
I think you mentioned the numbers that Andrew Jones has against Javi Vasquez, and there's no doubt about it. When you have a history with the guy, watch where Posada's setting up. Oh, he missed by what? Well, the distance of the plate, his glove. Watch where his glove is, setting up away. Ends up pretty much middle belt high. But you talk about the mental, the mind part of when you know a guy wears you out or vice versa. You end up squeezing the ball a little tighter or not making that good crisp pitch that you normally would if you know that you've had success against a certain hitter.
Home run in the first, sac fly in the second, home run in the third. It's 3-0 White Sox. Count 1-1.
Yeah, just show, to talk about a guy struggling. Watch where his glove is. Now this is corner of the plate. He wants a fastball away. Granted, it's 3-2 count. Ends up missing. He wanted it here. And then just missing the entire length of the plate. Right, and a guy who's had success against you. You got to feel it, when you're struggling, and every pitcher, every player does. You just got to still believe that you have the stuff and you're going to maintain the consistency to make good pitches. And it's hard to do. That's the hardest part of maintaining. Okay, I'm a good player. I've played a long time, and Javi Vasquez, second in the National League behind Tim Lincecum in strikeouts, ERA in the 2s. You're finding it. You're looking. You're with your pitching coach. You're trying to figure it out. You're looking at old footage when you dominated.
Count 3-2.
And then you're supposed to have the bravado to come on the mound and say, okay, I remember being with Jack Morris, Michael, and he wasn't having a good year in 92 or 93. And he thought on every given day, it didn't matter about his previous numbers, that he was going to be dominant. He believed it.
Check swing, slow roller. Grabbed there by Vasquez. He can't hold on. And they're going to give T a base hit.
And then you got a check swing, little dribbler in front of the third baseman. You think you made a good pitch, you're out of the inning. Would have been a single either way. He had to make the play. A-Rod was playing back. It's a tough play for Javi. Certainly going the other way and lost the grip.
Maybe it was a new glove, not as broken in.
Well, that glove is definitely not as broken in as his other glove.
Carlos Quentin takes a pitch outside.
Now, you talk about it being getting in the head of Vasquez. Again, obviously this is his glove that he's used for his 4 previous starts, and I don't know. I imagine maybe even Javi used it last year. And if a manager doesn't bring it up to the umpires, they'll let him use it. The color of the glove has to be in uniform or concert with the team uniform. Can't have a gray or a light color white. That's a new glove right there.
(1-0), 2-0. Would that bother you, Al, wearing a new glove?
Absolutely. You want to feel comfortable. This is part of your uniform, and I think I said in concert, it's in contrast to your uniform, having a glove that doesn't stand out from the uniform in which that the team has. Yeah, especially if it's a glove that you haven't used, it's not broken in. There's no question about it. It's uncomfortable.
Swing and a miss. So on 2-0, he goes with the breaking ball.
Well, in the previous at bat to Quinton, he went all breaking balls. Ended up walking him on 4 pitches. Went 3-0, missed with a fastball way out of the zone. Now here at the 2-0 count, as you say, he dropped a slider. He'll come back with a fastball away here.
High pop-up. Cano in shallow center will put it away for the final out of the inning. But Andrew Jones hits a home run for another run. In fact, it's been a great afternoon for Jones. In the first inning, he started off with a home run. Here in the third, which do you think is more difficult to achieve? You can text us at 58772. Is it 1, hitting for the cycle, or 2, pitching a no-hitter? Standard text messaging rates apply. Now, Al,
that's an easy
you pitched
one, right?
a no-hitter, so obviously for you it was a cycle.
But I think statistically, everybody goes crazy over the no-hitter, but the cycles are harder to come by.
I think it's almost about the same. Brett Gardner will lead off against John Danks, who has a 3-0 lead, and Gardner shows bunt. Takes a pitch high, 1-0.
Boy, what an at-bat Gardner had last night against a tough reliever, Matt Thornton. 95 or better, got a single up the middle before Jeter's game-winning triple down the right field line.
The 1-0. That's 2-1, I'm sorry. So Posada talking things over with Girardi and Island about Vasquez. Now the count 3-1. 2 men listening intently to the guy behind the plate. Hey, everybody wants it to work for Javier Vasquez. And they're trying to see it through and see what they can do to tweak things, because obviously now the talent is there. He should be able to win.
Yeah, there's no question about it, Michael. I know look, he's still got plenty left. Age-wise, stuff-wise, he's a good pitcher.
Ground ball and through for a base hit. just under the glove of Konerko. So Gardner leads off the third with a single.
Get your engines started. Just, what did the outstretch? Konerko not as nimble a first baseman. Pretty good over there, certainly around the bag. That ball getting in on the hands of Gardner. Perfectly placed for Gardner's sake.
You know, Al, it's pretty impressive. Gardner now doesn't seem to be neutralized at all with a left-handed pitcher. Derek Jeter spoke about how great the at-bat was yesterday against Thornton, the one that you brought up, and Danks hangs in there against him and drives one through the right side of the infield. And as you said, you could start the engines. Gardner leads the American League with 10 stolen bases. He's the first Yankee to finish April #1 in stolen bases since Chuck Knobloch did it in 2001. Count 1-0. Jeter with a fly ball to center in the first inning. Gardner now, the way, is now 7 for 18 against lefties this year.
And as that success continues, you just feel he'll feel more comfortable about his approach. And you mentioned about that Matt Thornton at bat last night. That was a nice approach. Eliminating the inside part of the plate. He was throwing 96 or better and just stayed right on the baseball through the middle.
And also you can see the way Girardi is handling him now. Didn't pinch hit for him against Thornton. Today there's a lefty on the mound. Earlier in the season it was Gardner who would sit. Now it's Nick Johnson who's taking a seat. And Gardner remains in there because Girardi sees the games. Hey, the guy's not having trouble against lefties.
Danks giving him a good, tough move. Now, this is going to be an interesting matchup because it's going to be, if he goes here and gets a stolen base, it's about him outrunning the baseball. See that little sidestep. There's really not a rule to say you have 45 degrees, but the umpire will allow a left-hander to take that front leg and go a little toward the first base dugout. This would be tough for him to take off. He's got to get a read. But look what it's done, Michael. Danks is obviously has to be conscious of what Brett Gardner's capable of doing. You don't want him to easily walk into second base hit to the outfield as a run scored. Now here, Derek's in a 3-0 count. He may end up walking him.
Throws a strike on 3-0, so the count 3-1. A lot of teams like a hit and run on 3-1. Might send Gardner here.
You know what? It's a good matchup too. You got John Danks, who throws a lot of strikes. He's going to be in the zone. Derek Jeter certainly can handle the bat. You got a great base runner. Just make sure he's not throwing over the first before you go.
Doesn't go, and now the count is full.
Yeah, Brett Gardner right now is full. That's a good move. And why he's so effective, left-handers, everybody says, well, left-hander should be easy. Because of his leg kick, he cannot cross his knee past the pitcher's rubber toward second base. So long as it maintains staying in front of the pitcher's rubber, toward first base, you can go over. As soon as that leg goes behind the pitcher's rubber, you have to go home. And that's just part of your delivery.
You can see that Brett Gardner has a little bit of a hesitation there.
Yeah. Well, he's got the quick step. He's got a big leg kick. Then he could go. Watch this little quick step. Just trying to catch him to snooze. Yeah, he's not comfortable. Danks is showing a good arsenal of keeping him close.
That one you could tell he was going to first.
Yeah. Well, that's a release here. Derek will put the ball in play, and as I say, if you're Gardner, making sure that Danks isn't thrown over. They call it a cheat move where you can land a little bit toward the first base dugout.
Was not going on 3-2. Derek with his 3 hits yesterday, now 2,778 hits, and he leads all active major leaguers with that. In fact, no Yankee has had that distinction since. You know the answer to this, Al?
Is the guy I played with?
No. 1952, Johnny Mize. And Mize was passed later that year by Stan Musial in August.
Yeah, I wouldn't have gotten that one, Mike.
That was 58 years ago. the old saying is nothing slows down a game like speed, and that's exactly what's happening here. Count 3-2. Yankees trail 3-0. We're in the bottom of the third. Gardner leads off first. 8th pitch of the at-bat. Here it is. And Jeter works a walk.
Wow, excellent at-bat. Good, just cat and mouse through that whole thing. Give some credit to the fact that Brett Gardner can run like the wind. Derek Jeter, great handler of the bat and also the strike zone recognition.
This copyrighted telecast presented by authority of the New York Yankees and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the New York Yankees. So Don Cooper, the pitching coach, has a little something to say to John Danks. Anything useful ever said in those conversations, Al?
Not really. You mean like
50 pitches, 25-20. No, I mean...
What wedding present to get?
I mean, do those conversations take place?
Wedding
or look at the pretty girl in the second row.
Oh, yeah, that's sometimes.
Yeah?
It's really just to calm the pitcher down, slow everything down. Obviously, if things are happening, give an opportunity to go out there and take a breather.
Here's Nick Swisher. 1-0. Now, Nick Swisher very slowly is having Yankee Stadium turn into a house of horrors for him. With his out in the first inning, he's now 1 for 24 here this year. He's hitting .340 on the road. Last year, he had .226 at home with 8 home runs. On the road, .268 with 21 home runs. And I asked him about it. He goes, it's weird. He goes, and I got to be honest. This is what's great about Nick. Very refreshingly honest. He said, it's starting to get in my head. He said, I hit a couple of balls yesterday. He said, I thought one of them was going out. He said, it didn't. He said, I usually take the ball the other way, so that takes the left-handed power to right field here away, but I should be hitting some home runs right-handed to right field. He said, it really is getting in my head. So the count 3-1.
Well, it's a good thing to be honest about it because obviously you got certain guys look at the numbers, some guys don't. And when you realize that there's such a disparity as we just showed, yeah, it becomes a mental thing. And then it's the whole chicken egg thing. You know, are you missing your pitch? Are you not getting, that pitch right there just had enough velocity where you couldn't get on top of it? Are you pressing so hard because you know your numbers aren't as good at home? So this pitch is middle, just high enough, 92. One of Danks' better velocity today. Challenged him, went right after him.
3-2. Grounded to third. Took a weird hop. There's one. On to first. It's a double play, so his Bronx struggles continue. Well, that takes a lot of the air out of the balloon.
He missed the fastball before he swung over and hit it straight back. Now, when his Danks come back, he comes back with a changeup. This is an excellent pitch after the fastball. He just missed, just sliced it, hitting it straight back. Look at the fade on this changeup here. He was out in front. This is just a quality pitch. Tia getting a quick transfer. Swisher, not the fastest guy. Very frustrating for Nick Swisher.
So now a runner on third base with 2 outs, and here is Mark Teixeira. Lays off the high fastball. They check with the first base umpire. Dan Iasonia said no, he did not go. Two and on deck is Alex Rodriguez. This is the one inning where Danks keeps falling behind. And it's the second time around in the order. Fouled away. 2-1. Last season, Teixeira with 39 home runs led the American League, tied with Carlos Pena, but he became just the second player ever to lead or tie for the American League lead in home runs in his first year with the Yankees since Babe Ruth in 1920. So now the count 3-1. Grounded down the third base line. Stabbed there by Tien. It's a base hit for Teixeira. Scoring is Gardner. Yankees on the board. 3-1 White Sox.
He's got to be smiling a little bit, Michael. He's got a little bit of a smirk. All right. Gets his RBI. I know. Talking about here it is in May. Tien outstretched reach down the line, just inside the bag. Smothers it, Tien did. Gardner getting out of the way. Even if he comes up with it, that he would have been safe.
Here's Alex Rodriguez. And Danks not as sharp this inning. Count 1-0. Now the 2 hits for Teixeira so far today. His first multi-hit game since April 10th. Strike. And the count 1-2.
This is the combination. Why Danks coming into today's game with an ERA of 1.55. Little bit of command off. Command's off. He had 6 walks in the 4 starts here. A couple walks today and behind in some batters. But that fastball change cutter combination is still tough to hit or square up.
Line drive. Past Tien and down the left field line. Teixeira will go to third. Rodriguez makes a big turn. He'll stop at first. Yankees have runners on the corners with 2 outs.
Danks trying to come in with the cut fastball. Power slider in on the hands. Middle of the plate. Alex pulling his hands in enough. Keeping that ball fair. Smoking it past Mark Teixeira. Or Mark Tien, I'm sorry. Teixeira getting to third base here. Pierre throwing it in. Watch him pull his hands in. That ball's cutting in on his hands. That back elbow has to come into his side.
So now the Yankees have the tying runs on base here in the 3rd inning for the hottest hitter in the majors, Robinson Cano. Popped up to third. That was in the 2nd. Strike from Danks. Might have missed his pitch right there. Count 0-2.
He's challenging him, Michael. Cano has been so balanced, not fooled on breaking balls. This ball up in the zone. Swung at a ball here. See how high that pitch was.
Now 1-2.
Even though Cano only 6 walks, still able to obviously batting right around that 400 mark. He's swinging at a lot of strikes, staying within his approach.
1-2. Foul back. Teixeira's at third. Alex Rodriguez at first. Yankees trail 3-1. 1-2 count on Cano. Danks has already thrown in this inning 33 pitches, and Al's explained to me that's almost like a 5-minute round for a boxer. Yeah. Usually you're trained to throw about 15 to 20.
Yes. Hard to maintain a consistent delivery at a good release point. That's where you see pitchers give up the crooked number, end up making mistakes. the effort and the concentration into making that 12, 15, 18 pitches. It's not norm for a solid inning.
This half inning, 17 minutes right now.
This is where hitters just don't try not to do any favors for the pitcher. And the ball out of the zone, obviously easier said than done, but swing at strikes.
2-2. Swing and a miss. Got him. Pitch on the inside, fourth to play. But the Yankees finally break through. 1 run, 3 hits, no errors, 2 men left.
Yankees Trivia, your opportunity to test your knowledge about the
Age of 45. Which 3 were younger? Do you know, Al?
I know one of them.
Really?
I think so. Do you?
Listen, I can't guess.
No, we're not guessing.
I think I know one. But if I really sat down and thought about it, but I've got other things to do, I think I could come up with the other 2. Long delay for Javier Vasquez, and he starts off Brzezinski with a breaking ball. How much does that delay affect the pitcher? 19 minutes since he's been on the mound. You got 17-minute half inning and then 2 minutes between the innings.
It's not terribly long. I didn't mind it. I like having a little rest. I think when you get into that 30-minute wait, and anytime there's a long delay, as you mentioned, Michael, you get out there as quick as you can. And a lot of home plate umpires will give you a couple extra throws.
Brzezinski could not hold up, as Jerry Meals said he went around.
And here with stadiums like Yankee Stadium and the newer ones, you can actually go underneath and play a little catch if it was really that long. They got batting tunnels right underneath the dugout.
And they have a mound.
And a mound, yeah.
Right back up the middle. And it's booted by Cano. That'll be a base hit, but he just kicked it. He literally kicked it. So Brzezinski gets a single.
Boy, it just hugged the ground right here. Let's see if good fielding pitchers get square to home plate. And I certainly was never square, so I wasn't good at fielding position. But watch Vasquez. His feet are kind of tied up here a little bit. I think of Mike Mussina and Greg Maddox, guys that are gold glovers. They throw the pitch, and if they finish off center, they'll square up. It's the only way you can actually consistently field the ground ball.
There's more Kotze. Swing and a miss at an off-speed pitch. count 1-1.
Beautiful changeup right there. Fastball. It may have been his first changeup. Threw into T and watch this ball out of his hand. Looks just like a fastball. Pull the string.
And the count 2-2.
Posada's telling him to get his hand up. There he's going to come back with 3 changeups in a row. Bury it. Finish it.
Just reached out to spoil it.
Just talking about how Javi gets underneath it. You see the grip there. Changeup grip. Choking the baseball out in front. But you want to make sure you get your hand on top and finish it and get some downward plane to it. That's a pretty good pitch right there. The one before that, you saw Posada tell him to get his elbow up.
You know, we talked about in our segment 2 part of the Open that Javi Vasquez, according to Joe Girardi, was kind of pushing the ball or pitching uphill. And you explained what they want him to do, get on top of it. How do you think he's doing so far?
You know what? I'm seeing a little inconsistent, and I think it's a matter that Javi Vasquez, and I watched some footage of him last year. He's a lower half pitcher, and anytime you get a lower half, he's pushed.
That one's driven deep to right field. There it goes. See ya. A 2-run home run for Kotze, and the White Sox lead 5-1.
Well, a 2-2 count curveball. Kotze was able to get underneath that. So watch the pitch. It's flat. It's supposed to be away. Ends up being middle. Just missed his location. It's a curveball grip. Ends up wanting a backdoor curveball here. Ends up being middle inner half. Kotze just getting the barrel of the bat on the ball. 2-strike breaking balls. You've got to be able to bury it. I mean, that's the intention. You have 0-0, 1-0, 2-1. If you're trying to get in a count to fool the hitter, you want to just throw your breaking ball to get a called strike. You're less mindful of being down off the plate, as most pitchers try to do when they're 2 strikes.
Joe Girardi is on the phone to the bullpen because Dave Island on his way out to the mound. So the count 2-0 on the number 9 batter, Pierre. And there's no way to sugarcoat it as Sergio Mitre gets ready. Javier Vasquez not pitched well. I mean, he hasn't been dreadful. He certainly hasn't given up the farm, but giving up 3 home runs in 4 innings, that's not going to get it done.
And you know, we talked about having to maintain some kind of semblance of confidence. And it's hard to be confident when you're not doing your job. And you realize it. And you're struggling with, okay, what do I need to do to improve? You know, so much is mechanical. And then after a while, is it the repertoire? Where am I going? Am I going to my go-to pitch? Am I missing with command? I mean, you know, I'll still go back to it's about command and location. There's plenty of guys with less stuff that get hitters out consistently.
Now he walks Pierre, who was 1 for 20 coming to that at bat, and the crowd showering the Yankees with boos right now. Joe Girardi, whatever he does, and knowing how Girardi thinks, does not under any circumstance want to take Javier Vasquez out in the middle of this inning because he knows he will be just bombarded with catcalls and boos. He wants him to work through this inning, and if you're going to take him out of his game, it would be his design to take him out at the end of an inning so he doesn't have to suffer that. We'll see if Javier Vasquez gives him the opportunity to manage that way. And there's a strike to Omar Vizquel. Vizquel with a sac fly his last time up, but it was actually a double play as well. You still get an RBI, but it was an 8-3 double play as the throw was cut off by Teixeira, and he tagged out Brzezinski between second and third. Swing and a miss, count 0-2.
Take a look at the scout report, Home Depot hitter scout report. All gold. We talk about 11 gold gloves. He's second only in the history of the sport as a shortstop to Ozzie Smith. All-time switch hitter, 5th all-time in hits as a switch hitter. And the number 11, well, Michael, we've talked about it. Luis Aparicio, Hall of Fame shortstop. They retired it. The White Sox did in '84. He's wearing his.
That one is served into left field, and it's beyond the grasp of Jeter and dunks in for a base hit. So Vizquel gets himself a single. Still nobody out, runners on first and second.
Just off the end of the bat, you see the stretched arm of Derek Jeter just in that no man's land. Just flicks it out there, hoping for Vizquel. Let's see Derek Jeter getting in there. I wonder if Gardner may have hindered Derek from really going after it. That just was perfectly placed for Vizquel's sake. Look at that. Hips flying off the plate. Good pitch. Guy struggling 083, and look at that, right off the tip of the bat.
Girardi's going to do something he did not want to do. After 83 pitches, he's going to take the ball from Vasquez. So he's going to signal for Sergio Mitre. Runners on first and second. 2 runs already in. Still nobody out. Teammates trying to make him feel a little bit better. And the crowd here will voice its displeasure toward Javier Vasquez. On Saturday, May 15th, it's a long-time Yankee Stadium tradition. It's Cap Day. All fans in attendance when the Yankees take on the Twins receive a Yankees cap courtesy of S. For tickets, log on to Yankees.com, visit the Yankee Stadium ticket window, Yankees Clubhouse shops, or you can call Ticketmaster at 877-469-9849. Joe Girardi didn't want to do it, but he makes the call to the bullpen, brought to you by AT&T, a better 3G experience. Javier Vasquez, for the second straight game, knocked out under 5 innings, so he pitches 3+. The runners on base, his responsibility, already 5 on his ledger. And Sergio Mitre takes over, and he will face Gordon Beckham.
Mitre haven't had a whole lot of work. He's that long man position, trying to find him innings. Starting rotation on them. Vasquez has been doing their job.
Now I wonder if Ozzie Guillen points out to the umpires the long string coming off the glove of Mitre, because that's something that they can say is a distraction as well. We'll see when it comes to the set, kind of flopping around. Bunted, and bunted foul.
That would be a distraction for me as a pitcher, I would think. I think hit you in the arm. Is there some kind of rule for that?
Yeah, if something is flapping on the glove, or if your sleeves are cut like Pedro Martinez's used to be, they can make you change the glove or just snip off the long lace. Yankees playing for the bunt, and Beckham pulls back. They check with the first base umpire. Dan Iasona said no, he did not offer. So Mitre on in relief of Javi Vasquez, trying to keep it right here at 5-1. That time they had him swinging in the count 2-2. Last year with the Braves, Vasquez did not have a single start where he did not complete at least 5 innings. And now he's had back-to-back outings at less than 5 innings.
I watched the start that he had in St. Louis, and he made 10 strikeouts and made Albert Pujols swinging it just feebly at nasty slider, nasty curveball. It's somewhere within. His velocity's off a little bit, but to me it's a command issue, and it's him just getting back and feeling worthy, feeling like, you know, I have command, I'm good.
Swing and a miss. Got him. 1 away.
Well, Gordon Beckham, 3 strikeouts now, a little hat trick. Mitre's got a good sinker. He had Tommy John surgery a couple years ago. Did a pretty nice job last year with the Yankees. His ERA was inflated, 12 appearances, 3-3. A good spring. See how he handles a guy with a couple solo home runs here today, and Andrew Jones.
Count 0-1.
Yeah, first at bat, you see the slider, middle of the plate, and Vasquez stayed with breaking ball. 7 home run next at bat, that ball ended up being spin in another breaking ball that stayed in her half up.
The 0-1. Yankee starters have been so effective, aside from Vasquez, that Mitre, who was essentially the long man, has not worked a lot. And he's the Yankees, essentially their 6th starter. If somebody went down, it would be Mitre who would slide in, so you want to keep him stretched out a bit so that if he does have to step into that role, he can give you 5 or 6 innings. Let's see if they get the runner at first. They do. Omar Vizquel strayed too far as the ball got away from Posada just a bit. Moving to third is Juan Pierre.
Well, what Vizquel does is that runner at first base, you immediately look at the second base. Look at how far off the bag he is because of where Teixeira is. Ball kicks away. I don't know whether Vizquel actually looked immediately at where Juan Pierre is. Maybe he saw Pierre was giving him indication that he was going to third base.
Well, that's got to be a hopeless feeling. He never even got back to the bag. He kept sliding, but the fingers never touched the bag. So even at 43, you make mistakes. Still 1-2. Now, if you're keeping score the way you score that, a 2-3 put out, and Pierre goes to third on a fielder's choice. So that is not a wild pitch. And if you think about it, that makes sense because Pierre was not going to third when the ball got away from Posada, so it could be a wild pitch. And they had both runners hung up, and they decided to go for Vizquel, so the fielder's choice allowed Pierre to go to third. Two. Dribbled slowly at the third baseline. Fair ball. It's a base hit. And a kick foul. Alex patiently waited.
Well, we saw one last night similar to that. The ball, as soon as it hits that dirt, so long as there's enough velocity on it, that ball will roll foul. Not a whole lot of space between the dirt part of the baseline. And anytime that there's less dirt, it usually means that this is a field that wants the ball to roll foul.
Remember that old-time shot in the Kingdom where Lenny Randall got down on his hands and knees and blew the ball
That's illegal.
foul? Now it's illegal, yeah.
Wasn't that?
I think it might have been then, but now it's definitely in the rule book. I think that at that point they said that it was against the spirit of the rules. Alex Rodriguez with his hand is waving it foul.
So yeah, they kicked the grass there and rolled off.
2-2. Did he go? No, he did not, said Ayasonia. Getting a workout at first. You decide, was he right? He held up. Three-two. Line drive, foul. Now check this out. Jones checks his swing, and then he appeals.
I know he's going to say I didn't swing. Check him.
Most batters just don't want the home plate umpire to call it because they say you can't call the pitch and the check. You can't look at both. So I think that's what was in the mind of Andrew Jones there. We'll check before you call. 3-2. And he walked it. So another long half inning. 5-7-0 for the White Sox, 1-4-0 for the Yankees. Now, I've got a very hard question to ask you, Outlider. This is the type of question that when you get asked this, you really show whether or not, you show whether or not you deserve the money you get.
Pay attention? Go ahead.
No, you always pay attention. Here's Paul Konerko. Well, here's the question. Thursday's an off day for the Yankees.
Yeah.
Friday they play against the Red Sox in Boston. That would be when Javi Vasquez is supposed to start. With the off day, it allows you the opportunity to skip over him. and give him time to work through his problems rather than go to Fenway Park and face the Red Sox. What do you do?
That's easy for me. If I was Javi Vasquez, not that you want to take out, but I would say give him a breather, give him an opportunity to get a couple sides, just get away from it.
Runner goes. Ball fouled away. Let me get straight. You'd say that if you were Vasquez,
I think
ask to be scared?
No. I'm saying, and I'm sure it's happened to me in my career, where there was an off day and you were the struggling pitcher and you're going through whatever you're going through, and they give you the off day, the extra day, or skip your start. Look, there's no secret, and it's not an indictment. It's not. Look, he knows. This guy's a successful major league pitcher. He knows where he needs to be. So if it means, you get away, you get a different work routine, maybe get two sides, maybe even throw, I know during my career, there's been some opportunity where I'd throw batting practice. Face a couple hitters, get in early, and
runner goes.
Just get that feel.
Right.
Of, what that's supposed to feel like. Of when you make that good slider and it snaps and see the break and bam on the corner. Or the ball coming out of your hand, the way in which the movement's supposed to go on your two-seam fastball. All of it.
Runners on second and third, 2 outs. 0-2 count on Konerko. Grounded sharply to A-Rod. He got a nice hop there across the diamond, and that'll do it. So Mitre stops him right there. But the White Sox scored 2 runs on 3 hits, and they leave 2. We go to the bottom of the 4th. Line quiz. Since 1980, Joe Girardi became the 4th youngest manager to win a World Series at the age of 45. Which 3 were younger? I think Ozzie Guillen was younger.
My one, yeah.
And we will tell you after this pitch to Posada. So Danks has a 5-1 lead. 1-0. Who were the other 2?
Francona.
Davey Johnson. Didn't realize that. Tom Kelly.
37.
Ozzie Guillen. Tom Kelly rocked. What a good guy.
Yeah. Still integrally involved in that organization, minor league scouting.
And he's had so many opportunities to come back and manage. People have thrown money at him. Just doesn't want to do it. I guess you can't get much better than winning 2 World Series. Loves his horses. Day like this is big for him. The Kentucky Derby.
Yeah.
Just a good guy. Really knows the game. And you know what? The Twins still play his style of baseball. Because Ron Gardenhire, the manager of the Twins, learned at his knee.
Plus, he's still in contact, communication. To see him here at the stadium scouting. Gardenhire, he's a clone. Well, this is a chip away game for the Yankees. You got a tough pitcher in Danks who just look for any way to scratch a run here or there.
Posada with a high fly ball to left center field. Andrew Jones cuts over, makes the play. 1 out.
Boy, he's pretty cool out there. I thought all those years, as great as Smoltz and Glavine and Maddox were, this guy really helped that pitching staff. He covered so much ground in Turner Field.
John Smoltz in the ballpark today.
That's right. He's got tomorrow's game.
Yeah. TBS. Now, don't worry, though. The game's on Yes. But TBS is around the country. Count 1-1. Tim's walked in the second inning. Hit sharply foul.
Seeing that. This at bat right here, Michael. John Danks. It's 2-1 count. He's up 5-1. Not that you're trying to lay some cookies in there for a guy who's really hot, especially Timms against left-handed pitchers. But what Timms has done against Danks, 1 for 14. He's got to walk in the first at bat. Changeup, got behind 2-1, comes back with another changeup. His predictability factor is very low.
Driven deep to left field, but foul.
And that's the thing with him. Certainly 5-1 is not insurmountable at all. But when you get a guy that recognizes it's about pitches, making a pitch, and stay within your game plan. There's another changeup.
That one again, just foul.
That was a heck of a trade for the White Sox. Traded Brandon McCarthy to the Texas Rangers. This guy's a #1 pick out of Round Rock High School outside of Austin, Texas. They absolutely loved him. He was a #1 prospect for the Rangers for a few years and was included in that trade. And I know that they're kicking themselves now. John Daniels was the one who pulled the trigger on that trade.
Well, they really like Brandon McCarthy, but it turned out to be a bad deal. Popped up behind the plate, and Przinsky with the catch. Tomorrow afternoon, the Yankees close out the series against the White Sox. Coverage starts at 12:30 with the Tri-State Court pregame. Then Al and I have the call from the Bronx. White Sox Yankees coverage starts tomorrow at 12:30. It's only on Yes. Here's Curtis Granderson.
You mentioned about Danks. His dad was a basketball player's brother in minor leagues. His sister was a Division I volleyball player.
High fly ball. Andrew Jones will put it away for the final out of the fourth as the Yankees go down in order for the first time today. 1, 2, 3. Again, he looks away. He's so good he can't even walk. White Sox over the Yankees on the Acela scoreboard. And Mark Tien will lead off against Sergio Mitre, who was on the relief of Javier Vasquez, who did not get an out in the 4th inning. Tien fouls it away. Along with Al Leiter and Kimberly Jones, I'm Michael Kay. And we thank you for spending part of your Saturday afternoon with us and watching the Yankees on Yes. White Sox lead 5-1.
Ooh,
that one crossed up Posada. He reached up, and I think the ball got him in the mask. Yeah, everybody, when you talk to some of the Yankee coaches, they say Posada has trouble with pitches up. I don't know if he blocks his eyes with his glove, but I don't think he was crossed up because he never went out and talked to him.
Well, but there should be only one sign. So, I could see with a runner at second base, you're giving multiple signs.
That's why I don't think he was crossed up.
Yeah.
I think he just blocked himself.
The reason why that's hard, Michael, because they're set. He's set low, so he's obviously used to mid-thigh, knee-high, ankle-high. So when that ball goes above his mask, you'll see catchers all literally jump up so they keep the eyesight level where the baseball's thrown. And that last little 7-8 feet, they lose it. And, when you're talking about 90-plus mile an hour moving fastball, if he's looking for, anywhere in this zone and then the ball is up here and his head's still here, he's looking up as opposed to taking his body up.
And Mark Tien starts off the 5th with a walk. Today after the postgame, check out Forbes Sports Money, presented by Fox Business Network. Sports magnate Dave Checketts discusses his days with the NBA and his news ventures, plus hear how the current economy is affecting the sales of thoroughbred horses. It's all today after the postgame, only on Yes.
Time's the Derby? Afternoon, evening?
5 o'clock, I think coverage starts. There's a strike.
Carlos Quentin a couple of years ago was on pace for MVP numbers in September. Ended up punching his bat and broke his wrist. Cost him maybe an MVP. Ended up being hurt the rest of the year. Not being able to make the playoffs.
Runner goes, and that one is grounded softly towards short. Going to be a tough play, and Jeter makes it to get Quentin for the first out. That play seemed to unfold in slow motion, but Jeter stayed with it.
Well, Quentin had a little hamstring problem, too. So Derek, knowing his runner, just making sure that he cleans it, fields it cleanly, and watch Quentin going down the line as best he can. Derek, nice little flick throw. He was supposed to not play yesterday. Ended up getting in there. See him struggling to get through it.
Now, just so you know, so you get home in time, post time for the Derby is 6:28.
6:28? Yeah, I like watching that. All the Derby hats, flowered hats, right?
Do you wear a flowered hat as you watch it?
I do.
Yeah?
I do.
Now, you have a big Derby party to go to, right?
I do have one.
Nice.
Want to go?
I don't like to be invited last minute, but no, thanks. The 1-0. Count 2-0. Looking at Lucky.
It's a good name.
And that
favorite,
was
right?
the favorite. Well, it was the favorite.
Who's the favorite now?
I believe the horse that's the Mutter. Sydney's Candy is in the 20th post position.
Yeah, there you go. 20th and first.
No, that's wait.
5-1 odds. That's low, right?
Well, looking for Lucky was the favorite when betting started.
going to say the 12-1.
All right, the one that runs in the mud is Devil May Care. No, Super Saver is the one that runs in the mud.
Noble's Promise will win.
All right. Soft ground ball to second base off the bat of Przinski. 2 outs as Tien moves to third.
It's a sink on Mitre. He's basically, that's all he's been throwing. A couple of little sliders. Super sinker pitcher with the movement. It's hard to square up. I think of some guys over the years with just primarily sinker ball. Could vary the speed, vary the break on it.
Here's Mark Kotze, a 2-run home run against Vasquez in the 4th. And there's a strike. And the count 2-1.
Kotze's always given a good at bat. Just spoil the pitcher's pitch just off the plate. Came up #1 pick with the Marlins. Had a nice career. Versatile guy. Play all the different outfield positions.
High fly ball left field. Brett Gardner right there, shading his eyes from the sun, puts it away for the final out of the inning. So the leadoff walk does not hurt. White Sox trail or lead just 1 halfway through. Every season, Johnny Walker, proud sponsor of the New York Yankees. In 1951, Mickey Mantle hit his first home run. That was against the White Sox at Comiskey Park. It was the first of his 536 home runs. And it was off White Sox pitcher Randy Gumper. Now 1-1 to Gardner. So Danks has a 5-1 lead. Gardner's 1 for 1. Hitting .333. Gardner, Jeter, and Swisher against Danks. Could not hold up in the count 1-2. On the Acela scoreboard, 5-7-0, beating 1-4-0. once that was grabbed by Danks, they had the play. But if it got over the head of Danks, it would have been a base hit for Gardner.
Easily. Watch Danks just down this, just a little bit high enough for him. He knew it. Get that ball. Gardner has that kind of speed. His fit of follow through, falling off toward. Not pretty good. Squared up enough. Gardner just didn't hit it hard enough, obviously.
When he actually caught that ball, he was literally in the air. No part of his body was touching the earth. Here's Derek Jeter.
Cirque du Soleil.
Now, Al and I did segment 2 out in the bullpen today. So after we had finished, we were walking along the warning track in left field and down the third base line. That one is punched into right field. It is going to be a base hit. Could not be handled there by Kotze, and he throws behind Jeter, but a base hit for Jeter. Kotze gets up slowly, but a valiant try.
Excellent try. Looked like he got a little limp after this. He had it tracked, huh? Just hit off his something. Let's see how he lands here.
He landed on the ball on the left hip. Anyway, as we were walking in from left field, Al, you turned to me and said, I really want to pitch today. Are these the days that you miss it? Because it's such beautiful weather?
Yeah, walking in the way we did. A beautiful stadium, looking at it. I don't know if I get anybody out, but
I'm sure you get people out.
Yes, still got a curveball. It's a beautiful day. I always felt that way coming here as a visitor, or a little bit of time I had with the Yanks. It's a magical place. You want to certainly perform on this stage, and if you do well, there's no better place.
And the odd thing is, and I think you can attest to this is not the same place as across the street, but it somehow still captures that majesty where you know that this is the biggest stage.
Well, you clearly, all the history and the tradition, the heritage here with all the championships, and you know where you are. And certainly New York, it doesn't get any bigger. But actually, when you're on the field, I don't know how you feel. I feel it's the same.
It has that same vibe, yeah.
And the outfield wall and the dugout, it's a little less foul territory, but it's got kind of the same feel. Newer, nicer.
And that's when they started winning titles in 1923. The total now 27. 2-2. Grounded shortly and past Tian and down the third base line. Nick Swisher, who has been struggling at home, needed that base hit. So the Yankees now runners on first and second in the heart of the order coming up.
Well, this ball is well struck, but I'm curious to see what Tian was. Now that just took a bad hop. He was playing off the line enough. Part of the scouting report against Swisher was thinking he was going to hit it not down the line. If Tian thought maybe he had a shot at that ball, going down on his knees there, trying to backhand it.
Mark Teixeira whips one foul. Teixeira is 2 for 2 the first day of May. And his average has jumped from 136 to 157, so 2 hits has jumped him 19 points. Don't check that, 21 points. Count 0-2. .100 pitches for Danks, so they're going to have to go into their bullpen. Just the 5th inning, 57 strikes, 43 balls. 5-1, certainly not insurmountable. This game far from over. Just missed. And the count 2-2.
It's a good take right there. You're looking for a hitter as to whether they're fooled out in front on their front foot. That pitch right there, changeup floating down the way. Teixeira stayed back on it. Well, the part of the White Sox troubles, aside from that hitting, the rotation hasn't really found its stride. I thought the White Sox rotation would be the best in the Central, AL Central. Their bullpen has been very strong. Got a lot of power arms coming out of the White Sox bullpen.
Count now full at 3-2. Jeter off second, Swisher off first, one man out. The 3-2 to Teixeira. Driven down the left field line, fair ball, it's trouble. It's a foul ball. Kept hooking.
Got out in front of that changeup fastball previous pitch, and just by the velocity being off this pitch here, he was out in front. The ball cut a little too. Tough to keep that ball fair.
This will be the 8th pitch of the at-bat. Now it'll be 9.
It's a battle, the battle within the battle. This is where big moments in games are won and lost, and sometimes you don't see it in the box score and walk or the 9 out, move the runner over.
Three-two, and he walked him. $107 pitches. And it looks like they're going to keep him in because Don Cooper, the pitching coach, is going to come out and talk with Danks. Ozzie makes the pitching changes. Is that a good move, keeping him in at 107 now?
Yeah, you know what? I think it's a matter of them getting some time for Randy Williams, the reliever, setting up for Cano. Yeah, look, John Danks, he's getting up to that pitch count number, but he's done well up to this point. Not only today's game, only the 1 run in here in the 5th. We're going to talk over strategy as to exactly how they want to go after Alex Rodriguez. Career-wise, Alex was 2 for 8 coming into today. 3 for 9 now.
Well, Alex Rodriguez now is the tying run at the plate here in the bottom of the 5th inning. So with one swing, you can erase everything that's happened up to this point, or at least lessen the sting. Rodriguez 1 home run away from tying Frank Robinson on the all-time home run list. Alex also has 18 grand slams. Strike.
Ooh, you know, right up to this point, Mark Wagner, I thought had a tight zone pretty much on both sides. Watch his changeup float away. You see Przinsky pulling that ball in. That ball was off the plate.
Foul back.
Let's see if Alex gets a pitch to hit here after that changeup off the plate. That fastball was pretty good to hit. Let's see if he expands off the plate with that changeup down the way. Oh, he's coming upstairs.
And Alex doesn't go up there with him in the count 1-2.
Usually the whole high fastball is set up for a changeup down the way, or you double up. See if he goes back with another high fastball on the inner third, or does he come with a changeup? changeup.
All right, so this is a money pitch right here, Al. What do you go with at 2-2?
I would go with, if I'm Danks, I'm going to stay away from the danger side of left field. I'm going to probably go with that changeup down the way. It's a good pitch for him. The danger pitch would be something to drive on the inside part of the plate. If you miss, it's always easier to go out the left field.
Alex does have power to right field, though. Here's the 2-2. And he does come inside, so the count 3-2. On deck is Cano. All right, same thought process. What do you do on 3-2?
I'm going to throw the changeup.
Even on 3-2, you can walk
even
him.
with the bases loaded. Yeah. Well, he's thrown 2-3-2 off-speed pitches.
Grounded softly to short. There's one. On to first. Not in time. Rodriguez beats the return throw. Jeter scores. So an RBI for Alex. Moving to third is Swisher, and the Yankees now trail 5-2.
Well, he came back with a changeup, and because of it, it's a fastball count. Alex was out in front of it enough, topped it. Vizquel making sure that transfer to Beckham. Ooh, good, aggressive, hard takeout by Teixeira. Completely clean. That may have been the difference right there. Just barely got him, or barely safe.
I mean, he just got there. Here's how it looked running out of the box. He knew he had to beat it out. Going for all he's worth, and he just beat it out. And Teixeira goes in very hard and clean on Beckham.
Well, and also, too, Beckham has been a shortstop in his college career and minor leagues. He played third base last year. Much different transfer, not being able to see that runner coming down on you.
So they're trying to get Danks through this fifth inning. Can't get credit for a victory unless you pitch 5 if you're the starter. So Alex with that would be his 15th of the year. Cano 0 for 2 against the lefty, the 1-0. 1-1.
Cano's been in between on Danks. Danks been some tough in the first at bat, just went right after him. And then the second at bat where he ended up striking out a changeup, he was hard the whole time until that last pitch.
Danks has already thrown 30 pitches this inning, 115 overall. Yankees are very, very patient with Danks today. And the count 3-1.
Boy, this is getting to that pitch count where Ozzie Gibbs consulting with Don Cooper, his pitching coach. Certainly, as you say, Michael, you got a guy that's front end of the American League, is 3-0, great ERA. You're thinking about getting him a win, but you're also wanting to preserve a win for the team. It's a tough decision right here. Push up on 118.
High fly ball, right field. Kotze is there, hardly had to move, and that will do it. So Danks has gone 5. He gives up 1 run on 2 hits, and 2 runners are left. 5-2 White Sox going to the 6th. Which do you think is more difficult to achieve? You've been texting your vote to 58772. Here's how you voted. 68% say pitching a no-hitter.
But that's not true, right? I mean, that's what they...
It's about even.
Is it even? All right.
Not even.
Couple no-hitters a year, right? On average?
Yankees get a run back off the deficit, so it's 5-2 now. Moments ago, Don Cooper with John Danks, and Cooper really animated.
Jeez. They chewed him out.
John Danks threw 118 pitches through 5 innings. That a career high. Count 1-1. And then Ozzy's going to chip in, throwing seeds on him. And a little hug. Dallas Green ever throw seeds on you?
No. Dallas didn't say a whole to me. I mean, that's good. I think with the team, when they're struggling, it's hard to have a manager as vocal and open and honest as Ozzie Guillen is. Because sometimes as a player, you don't want to always hear exactly what's going on. There's definitely that sugarcoating aspect. And I don't think there's any sugarcoating in Ozzie Guillen's capabilities. And to some guys, that you can rub them wrong. And Ozzie doesn't care.
The 2-2 popped up center field. Ramson battling that sun, played it to the side.
Maybe that's why Andrew Jones is looking away.
Very smoothly looking away, though. Boone Logan throwing in the Yankee pen. Dietrich got 3 outs in the 4th. He's pitched the 5th, now here in the 6th. Scott Linebrink warming for the White Sox in their bullpen. Vizquel slaps one to left field. Gardner is there. 2 outs.
You mentioned about the no-hitters, the vote in the history of baseball. 258 no-hitters, 289 cycles.
So no-hitters are tougher.
Yeah. Oh, look at that.
And if you think about it, yeah, it's amazing. You say it, it's up there. It's the brilliance of TV. But there's so many more hitters that have a chance at a cycle. And it's only 2 pitchers a day that have a chance at a no-hitter. 18 hitters a day have a chance at a cycle. Yeah. Well, I'm trying to slow it down for you. Pitch to Beckham, it's a strike.
Which then, therefore, would give reason why it's that much more difficult.
Right. You know, you might want to leave for that derby party right now. There's Linebrink. See the horses loading into their post positions right now. Mitre has certainly restored order to the proceedings on the Yankee end. Trying to get the final out here in the 6th. And the 0-2. 1-2.
Talking about a long man out of the pen, how it's difficult to get the work necessary. Because really, the long man situation is that you're a guy that they always have to assume that there's a potential where the starter doesn't do the job. And you're not just coming in for an inning or an out or two. The club's waiting for the opportunity to get a few innings. You know, there's situations where middle relievers, you can find a spot for that guy to get in and get an out or two or finish an inning. But with your long man, games like this where Mitre done a nice job, give him 3 or 4 innings.
Beckham is trying to avoid the dreaded golden sombrero. He has struck out 3 times. Count 2-2. And the 2-2. Grounded to Alex Rodriguez. And Mitre works a 1-2-3-6. He's retired 6 in a row. We go to the bottom of the 6th inning. White Sox 5 and the Yankees 2. Today to see every Yankees game live or on demand on your computer. Visit Yankees.com to order and get more details. MLB.tv, baseball everywhere. Well, we go to the bottom of the 6th inning. Yankees are trailing 5-2. New pitcher for the White Sox, Scott Linebrink.
Very good year. Rate ERA in the 1.13. 11 strikeouts in 8 innings. Good power sinker. He's got a good split finger. One of the strengths early in this year for the White Sox has been their bullpen. Combination of Linebrink and Matt Thornton leading up to Bobby Jenks.
So Dice, who's been so great leading into this game, struggled a little bit, gave up 2 runs in 5 innings. He had come in with a 1.55 ERA.
It just shows you, Michael, the only 6 hits. He had only 2 walks, 1 strikeout, but the amount of tough pitches that were spoiled and fouled off to get that pitch count where it was for him to only get 5 innings. You'd say, okay, with that 116, 117 pitch count, with 6 hits and only 2 runs and 2 walks, a lot of deep counts. And that's what the Yankees will do. Just beat away at the starter, even in a mediocre to decent start.
Soft ground ball to the 3rd. Tien gets Posada. And Posada 0 for 3 today, is now 3 for his last 23. Baseball is a game of streaks. Nobody stays hot for the whole season. And even the hottest hitters are going to have their stretches where they look lost. David Robertson warning. And right now, Posada, as I mentioned, 3 for 23. Here's Marcus Timms. He's 0 for 2. He walked and fouled out to the catcher. 8 career appearances against the Yankees for Linebrink. A 4.22 ERA. 10 and 2/3 innings. 13 hits. 8 walks. And he's allowed 3 home runs. 2-0.
Scott Linebrink since 2004. Talk about consistency. A guy who's a setup reliever leading up to your closer.
Marcus Timms with a base hit and only his second at bat against a right-hander all year. And Timms is now 11 for his last 16. Here's a guy who needs a hit in a big way, and that's Curtis Granderson. 2 fly balls to Andrew Jones. And he is now 3 for his last 34. Average down to 215. Count 1-0.
Only 2 at bats against Linebrink. Granderson 1 for 2. I said about 2004, he's got the second most holds in baseball behind Scott Shields.
The 2-0. There's a base hit for Granderson. Marcus Timms is going to go to third. And the throw is cut off by Vizquel. So Granderson with a single. The Yankees have runners on the corners with 1 out.
They got a fastball up after the changeup, getting it at 2-0 count. Perfect swing. Bell tie, outer half. Linebrink giving a pitch that Granderson could drive. Good way to get out of a slump. Aggressive base running by Marcus Timms, taking advantage of Mark Kotze's arm.
So here's Brett Gardner, who is 1 for 2 with a run scored. He's always been a very good hitter with runners in scoring position. 302. And against the White Sox, 438.
Well, that tells me, Michael, he's patient. He's not going to do anything that the pitcher's going to try to make him swing at a pitch out of the zone. And anytime you get a guy with good numbers, with runners in scoring position, he's waiting for his pitch and getting a pitch to drive.
Count 2-0.
Well, same situation here as Granderson just got a 2-0 count. Gardner should look for a fastball in his zone, somewhere up. Bell tie.
Paints the outside corner for a strike.
Linebrink showed different velocities. He'd been right at that 91 mark. There you got some extra velocity. You see split finger as his out pitch to left-handers. There it is right there. That's a good take right there. You see Gardner not fooled at all. After that 94-mile-an-hour fastball corner pitch, comes back with a 2-1 split. Good balance. Linebrink in a situation here. He's got to feel most comfortable whatever strike pitch he can throw. Gardner will be looking for a fastball.
Now the Yankees are down by 3. And Granderson has really good speed. 3-1 is a good count to go on. A lot of decisions for Joe Girardi to make here. Granderson does not go. And the ball fouled away. Ball went one way, bat went another, landing in the Yankee dugout. Nick Swisher had to scramble out of the way. Coming right at us. So now 3-2. Do you send Granderson?
No.
You have Jeter up next.
I think you got Gardner putting in play. You got a guy who's got enough control issue.
There he goes. Fouled away. Well, the old adage is if you go once, you're going to go every time. He goes. Line drive, base hit to center field for Gardner. Scoring is Timms, and Granderson is hurt. He is limping to third base. He'll make it there. An RBI single for Brett Gardner. The Yankees have cut it to 5-3, but now they have an issue with their center fielder. Now they're going to take Granderson out of the game. And he gamely limps into third base on the single. And he's going to leave the ball game. And the Yankees are going to send Randy Winn, I believe, out in the pinch run. Yeah, it's going to be Randy Winn.
Boy, look, as soon as he touched the bag at second base, let's see what happens with his left. His right leg, and then that left plant right after he touched with his right foot on the bag. Like he's favored his left. Well, we'll find out soon enough.
So another big base hit for Gardner to close it to 2. Now here's Jeter as Randy Winn pinch runs for Granderson. And Winn will stay in and play left, and they'll move Gardner to center. Pitch is outside. 1-0. Yankees have been playing catch-up all day. They were down 3-0. Then they made it 3-1. Then it was 5-2. Then 5-3. The first one was 3-1, then 5-1, then 5-2, and now 5-3, and looking for more here in the 6th. Now, if Gardner can steal second, that puts the tying run at second base where he can score on a single. Now, the benefit of keeping him on first, it keeps the right side of the infield open, and that's a lot of where Jeter hits the ball. The old Jeff Nelson. Fake to third, fake to first.
Yeah, and the effectiveness of that is just what we just saw there. Gardner has to wait long enough, obviously, for him to commit to go home.
Jeter 13 for 30 with runners in scoring position this year. That's 433. Had 4 RBIs last night in the Yankees 6-4 victory. 11 of his base hits to right, that Jeterian swing as Gardner dives back. So Robbie Thompson, the third base coach, goes through the signs. Yankees have a play where the runner will take off from first, and if the catcher goes through, the runner at third will come home. There is no throw. That happens all the time. They did it against Boston, and now teams are refusing to throw through because they know that's a play.
Well, and especially when you have a runner like Brett Gardner, his success rate is so high. Brzezinski 29% thrown out, which is pretty good. Once he commits home, Gardner's out running. Now watch the secondary lead from Randy Winn. Obviously cognizant, sometimes they'll have the shortstop come up short, throw the ball there, or throw it back to the pitcher.
11th stolen base for Gardner against 1 caught stealing. 2-1. 2-2. Line break sets. The 2-2. Still 2-2.
Fighting that tough, good 94-mile-an-hour fastball. What makes Derek Jeter so tough in these situations, he really has the ability to fight that pitch off inside, waiting for a mistake away. Almost, I would say, sitting off speed, but watching the line break show that he throw a split finger to not only the left-hander, but the right-hander, and a little slider. See if he comes back inside. Outfield playing Derek to hit the ball right side. Gordon Beckenbauer is playing in right field. Short right. Off the infield dirt.
Right in on the hands, and he fights it off.
And that's just Derek Jeter's ability to wait as long as possible to fight that pitch off. That ball's inner half. Watch the location. He wants it away, and that ball inside in a late swing.
Three-two. Driven to right field. And foul. Boy, he gave that a ride.
Think about the at-bat last night with Matt Thornton. Just fought off a lot of pitches. Thornton tried to come inside, left that ball away, drove it to right. Ninth pitch coming up in this at-bat. Good at-bat from Derek.
Grounded to third. A run's going to score. And Jeter just gets nabbed at first. Boy, did Tien take a long time to get rid of that ball. An RBI for Jeter, and now it's 5-4 White Sox.
Well, he contemplated to go home. You see there, Michael, he was hesitant, but now he realized, well, I better hurry up. Derek Jeter busted out of line. Wow, just gets him. As he turns, he's thinking maybe he could go home. The double pump. A little casual.
Almost blew both plays.
Derek always head down, run as hard as he can. Tien not realize he better hurry up.
Jeter with another RBI, his 19th of the year. Here's Swisher. Count 1-0. Nick with a base hit his last time up. Now batting from the left side. High fly ball, right center. Drifting back, Andrew Jones. Track, wall, see ya! 2-run home run, Nick Swisher. And the Yankees have taken the lead, 6-5. Earlier that Nick Swisher said it's starting to get into my head. That's a good way to get it out of your head.
Boy, in the previous at bat, you're right, Michael. He gets a fastball here, drives this ball. Had plenty to get there in the Yankee bullpen. Andrew Jones drifted, he knew it. Feeling better about his at bats. It's certainly last two here at Yankee Stadium. Big hit.
So the Yankees have come all the way back. The 1-0 to Teixeira. 2-0.
Oof. Back leg, beautiful finish.
Teixeira with a fly ball to left center. Andrew Jones is there, and he'll put it away for the final out of the 6th. But the Yankees with 4 runs on 4 hits, and look at Java trying to get out of the glass. Get me out of here. Yankees are leading 6-4. They might need me.
Yes, and I think we just saw it. Boy, what a charge here at the stadium. 4 spot here in the 6th. Beautiful swing. Oh, finish, follow through. I think he knew it right off the bat.
Now check out the catch by Mike Harkey, the bullpen coach. One-handed.
Quick to throw up that home run ball.
And Java certainly beside himself. Excited. Yeah.
It's good. That was pretty cool on Harkey's part.
I think Harkey might be taller than any of his players. He's a big guy.
6'8". 6'7".
Verizon Wireless scoreboard. 6'5". David Robertson on in relief of the 7th inning. Faces Andrew Jones. Powers a fastball by him. Jones 2 for 2 with a walk, stolen base, 2 home runs. Those are the numbers on Robertson, who still has not been able to command his stuff as well as he did last year up to this point. Count 1-1. So right now, Sergio Mitre in line for the win.
What a job Mitre's done coming in. Totally calming this offense down. No hits, 2 walks, and 1 strikeout. Super sinker. I said 6'7". Harkey's listed at 6'5", Mike. Looks bigger than that.
I don't think he's 6'5". I think he might be bigger than that.
You're 6'5". What are you,
I'm 6'4". He seems a lot bigger than me.
He is a big man.
Used to be a pitcher with the Chicago Cubs, where he became close friends with Joe Girardi.
Angels. UCLA guy.
I believe his son is now a tight end with UCLA.
He's got his size.
Yes. Mike's a good guy. If the kid can catch like that with that one hand, the ball hit 400 feet, he's all right. 2-2. Rocketed to left field, but right there is Wynn. One away. Wynn took over and left. Gardner, as we mentioned, moved to center to take over for the injured Granderson. We're waiting word what the deal is with Granderson, like either a hamstring or a groin pull, but we don't want to play doctor from up here. So the Yankees have certainly climbed back in this one, trailing 5-1 after 3.5 innings, but 1 in the 5th and 4 in the 6th, and they're up 6-5 here in the 7th inning at the stadium. Looks like Steve Donahue is now giving the update to Joe Girardi. And Dave Island goes out to talk with David Robertson.
Just trying to calm down Robertson. You mentioned about his command and just being off a little bit. Certainly love his stuff. Fastball, sometimes when you're struggling a little, and obviously it's early in the season, a 10 ERA will come down with some innings, some scoreless innings. You have the tendency as a pitcher to overthrow, but anytime you overthrow, you miss your spots.
Count 2-0. Now the Yankees coming back the way they have, and they haven't won the game yet by any stretch of the imagination. But it does take a lot of the angst away from Javier Vazquez, who again did not have a good start, but doesn't have to sit there and say, hey, I cost the team the game, I cost the team the game, because now what he did, which wasn't great, well, now it's been wiped away because the Yankee offense has picked him up.
Well, that's legitimate, Michael. It does feel better knowing that, assuming if this stays up and the Yankees win, that he could feel a little better. But you still want to figure it out. You want to obviously do better than 3+ innings, as he did in his last 2 starts.
But you know what I'm saying? There's not that urgency now. He doesn't have to feel that overriding guilt. You know, I'm bringing this team down. The team is playing great, even with Javi Vazquez struggling. And, you know, you can make the case Javi Vazquez is the 4th or 5th starter. You know, if he continues to struggle, Phil Hughes will move ahead of him. And people have won pennants with 4th or 5th starters having bad years. That one is driven to right field, and it's going to be a base hit up against the wall. Konerko will round first and go to second. Nick Swisher mishandled the ball, but it was a double nonetheless, and that's what Konerko gets. And the Yankees won the World Series last year using 3 pitchers in the postseason.
Konerko, as good as any American League hitter, and home runs have just staying inside the right field line there. Mishandling the ball, but you're right, Michael. He'd have gotten a double. Yeah, look, he comes out of spring training, Javi Vazquez, as the 4th starter. You know, I was talking about, wow, this guy's, you know, he's really a 1-2-3. But here with the Yankees, the way the 1-2-3 sets up, he's a number 4 starter. So it does give a little solace to be able to figure out, okay, I'm not the ace, I'm not 2, I'm not 3. I have to figure this out. And yes, if this game holds up, you don't feel as bad. But as a player on a team, you want to do your job. Plus, he's not just a run-of-the-mill guy. He's a good major league pitcher. And you want to come back, and you want to get back to feeling what that's like, contributing in a significant way.
There's a strike to Mark T. The 1-1 from Robertson. Blocked there by Posada, keeping Konerko at second. For the White Sox, it has to be difficult. This is a team that's had a lot of trouble scoring runs, and they put a 5 spot on the board, and they can't hold on to it. And they put a 5 spot on the board with the guy who's arguably been their best pitcher so far this year, and they haven't been able to hold it. So Ozzie Guillen's trying to figure things out for his 9-14 team.
And their bullpen has been one of their strengths. Obviously, Scott Linebrink giving up the 4 runs didn't do his job today. Especially on the road, their bullpen has been very good.
Chop to A-Rod. Tough hop. And he gets T in for the second out. So 2 down in front of a big crowd here at Yankee Stadium on a Saturday afternoon. Runner at second base, and here's Carlos Quentin with the Yankees up by just 1. Along with Al Leiter and Kimberly Jones, I'm Michael Kay, and you are watching Yankees baseball right here on Yes, and we thank you for spending part of your Saturday afternoon with us. Yankees lead 6-5, top of the 7th inning. Count 1-0.
Jorge coming out. This would be a good inning for David Robertson to throw a 0 up there and feel a little more settled.
Grab a bat, get up there. Joining in the All-Star game. At what age did you know you wanted to be a ball player?
Major league or just play?
Major league, Al.
Yeah, when Bucky Dent called me into the office and said to go to New York, I said, for what? He said a couple words as to what kind of dope I was. He said, you're going to go play at Yankee Stadium. That was AAA. Bucky Dent was our AAA manager in Columbus. I don't know. Probably high school.
We're going to intentionally walk Carlos Quentin. You said to Bucky for what? What'd you think? You wanted to see a Broadway show? And there's ball 4 as Quentin is intentionally walked.
Chad Summers called me in to tell me I was going.
With A.J. Przinsky due up, then Joe Girardi is going to go and make the call to the bullpen to bring in Damaso Marte. So Marte will make his way in to face Przinsky. Runners on first and second with 2 outs here in the top of the 7th. The Yankees are leading 6-5. For the White Sox, 2-3 with a 4.68. And Phil Hughes for the Yankees looking for his 3rd win. He's 2-0 with an even 2 ERA. Our coverage begins at 12:30 with our pregame show. And 1 o'clock, 1:07 to be exact, is the first pitch. Will the Yankees be going for the sweep tomorrow, or will it be the rubber game of this 3-game set? Well, we'll know in about 7 outs. And they bring in Marte to get one of those outs. First and second, it'll be the lefty Marte against the lefty A.J. Przinsky. That's what Marte has done in 9 games. 4 2/3, 4 hits, 3 walks, 3 strikeouts.
Came in last night's ball game, Mark. Got to end up getting Martin out. The same situation here. Przinsky's an 0 for 4 lifetime against Marte. This is the role that Marte's been brought in here to get key left-handers out in tight ball games.
Well, Przinsky certainly knows Marte. They were teammates with the White Sox. He holds up on that swing. Marte was actually part of the 2005 White Sox World Series winning team. Alfredo Aceves got the win yesterday, warming up again today. That one's driven out to left center field and deep, giving Chase his win. It's over his head and up against the wall. 1 run scores. Here comes Quinton. He will score. It's a big 2-run double for Przinsky. And the White Sox lead 7-6. So Przinsky sells a lefty serve of Damaso Marte.
Well, Przinsky was struggling coming into today's game. That's his 3rd hit. Didn't do a whole lot. Just a half little check swing on a fastball down and away. Just drove it out of the outstretched reach. Gardner made up a lot of ground there. Randy Wynn, you see the gap being closed up by Gardner, but just right there on the warning track.
There's Mark Kotze. There's a strike. Both of them were playing very shallow, and again for Kotze, they're also playing very shallow.
I see Gardner out in center.
High fly ball, left field. Randy Wynn will put it away for the final out of the 7th. But the Yankees bullpen does not hold it. 2 runs on 2 hits, no errors, and 1 man left. At the end of 6.5, time for the 7th inning stretch here at the stadium with the White Sox leading the Yankees 7-6. But we'll stay right here to honor America.
We remember the servicemen and women who are serving our country at home and around the globe. Thank you. Now please join Kate Smith as she sings God Bless America.
To the
It's the season premiere of Yankees on Deck, presented by Tops Attacks. This season, there's more off-the-field fun and games, baseball training tips, plus some surprises from your favorite Yankees. The Emmy-winning Yankees on Deck premieres tomorrow at noon, only on Yes. Well, we just got word on Curtis Granderson. He strained his left groin. He is heading to Columbia Presbyterian for an MRI for further evaluation. Here's Alex Rodriguez, and the pitch from Linebrink is low. So the Yankees have another deficit that they have to try to make up. Rodriguez is 1 for 3 with an RBI. There's a strike.
Groin pull, obviously not good. Just a matter of finding out what kind of grade of a pull it is, but that's going to be a little time, I believe.
Verizon Wireless scoreboard 7-6 White Sox as Linebrink misses outside. Grounded to third. Tien gobbles it up. And there's one away. And now Ozzie Guillen's going to try to start to mix and match with the lefty Cano due up. He's going to go to the left-hander. So Linebrink, who gave up the 4 runs in the 6th, is now eligible to get the victory, although the official scorer can choose. So a lefty against a lefty coming up. His 11th game, 11 hits and 14 walks in 9 2/3 innings, but he does have the 9 strikeouts.
Yeah, but that 14 walks, that's obviously not good. And plenty of base runners for a reliever coming in here. Obviously, Cano and these couple hitters that he's going to end up facing, I got to believe they're going to keep Posada right-handed before they bring in J.J. Woods. Cano, Posada, and then I imagine force a move with Timms and bring in Woods. Make him throw strikes.
Cano is 0 for 3 today. And Williams does throw a breaking ball strike. And there's J.J. Putz. And Posada on deck. 1-1. Cano leads all left-handed hitters with 5 home runs off lefty pitching. Boy, the Yankees have been very, very patient against the White Sox today. And you can see it's somewhat frustrating because these pitchers are used to having hitters expand the strike zone. The Yankees won't do it. And they're getting some help from Wegner. As Al said, he's got a fairly tight strike zone today. Count 3-1.
Keyhole right here for Robinson Cano. I think Mark Wegner's been on the plate. You'll see some umpires a little more generous, but I don't think he has been that today.
And Cano works a walk. So Cano's showing a lot more patience early this season than he has in the past. And Ozzie Guillen said, I bring in a lefty, and he walks a lefty.
The 14 walks in 10 innings. Now 15. That's not good. Sometimes as pitchers, you're afraid to make contact with the bat. And end up hoping that you're going to have an aggressive hitter who ends up swinging at a ball. And as you say, Michael, Yankee hitters don't do that. That's why we saw John Danks going 5 innings. Only had 2 runs, 6 hits, reasonable, 2 walks. Ended up getting 116, 117 pitches out of there.
That's upstairs. Now, righties have a 306 career average against Williams compared to 223 against lefties. And Don Cooper's seen enough early, so he's going to get to the mound and talk to Randy Williams.
Well, let's see if this is anything like a chew-out session he had, whatever he was saying to John Danks. Yeah, looks pretty tough right there.
Don doesn't seem as if he's really the warm and fuzzy type of pitching coach.
So doing the sports psychology approach. Well, if it's consistent, and that's what you know what you're getting with your pitching coach, you know that's his behavior, and becomes the norm. It's all right.
And it worked because he threw a strike.
And they say keyhole or whatever the area in which a hitter likes, and most everybody's a hitter likes a fastball up out over the plate. That's what Jorge Posada's going to be looking right there with drive.
Count 2-2 on Posada. Jorge is 0 for 3 today, and as we mentioned earlier, 3 for his last 23. Posada thought he was struck out. He was heading toward the dugout.
Well, Brzezinski's looking back down, too. Wow. Watch Posada here. Oh, I guess it cut at the very end, but Posada.
Now he better swing because he kind of showed up Wegner. Guillen not very happy. Swing and a miss. So 1 strike later, he gets a strikeout. So they're 2 away. And now here comes Ozzie Guillen. He's going to bring in the right-hander to face Marcus Timms. And Yankees don't really have moves to make on this one. They could send up Ramiro Pena, who's a switch hitter. They already have Randy Wynn out in left field. So we'll see how Joe Girardi's going to play this. Ozzie Guillen's trying to mix and match through the 9th inning.
Posada getting a ball right in the good count. Gets a fastball down the middle. Couldn't pull the trigger. Hooks a little fastball, Williams does. And then that little sink. He had enough sink down and away. And that was the pitch Posada thought was a strike. And that ball again dipped down the same pitch that he swung at 2 pitches before. These are pitch by pitch.
Now here's J.J. Putz. Met fans remember him from last year. He did not have a good year. Also bothered by elbow problems. They didn't pick up his option. He ended up signing with the White Sox. 12 strikeouts in 7 2/3 innings. A really effective reliever for the Seattle Mariners before being dealt to the Mets, but it all fell apart in New York for him. And Tim swings and misses. 7-6. White Sox over the Yankees are in the bottom of the 7th. Cano is at first with 2 outs. 21 career appearances against the Yankees, and J.J. Putz has a 2.91 ERA. Foul back, count 0-2.
Well, it was a health issue with him, Michael, with the time in which we had the Mets. He had the elbow problem. And then it all just spiraled from there. But you're right, with Seattle, he was a very effective closer. Good power plus fastball, split change, slider.
The 0-2. Just missed outside 1-2.
Why, Michael, why is this glove any different than what Javi Vasquez had? Is it similar? A little dark brown, light
it's
brown.
almost the same. I think it might be the exact same. You know what's different? Is that Joe Girardi's not complaining about it. I think Javi's glove, the tones were reversed. There's Javi's glove.
So what?
Swing and a miss. And tagged out by Brzezinski. So Putz comes on to get Tim. There's no runs, no hits, no errors, 1 man left. Let's go to the 8th. White Sox up by 1. Number 3, Brett Gardner. Number 4, A.J. Brzezinski. Vote now and make your voice heard. Standard text messaging rates apply. When we go to the 8th inning here at the stadium, and Alfredo Aceves, the Yankees' 5th pitcher, and he will face 9-1-2 in the White Sox order. a slow-moving game here at the stadium. Right now about 3.5 hours old. And there's a strike to Pierre, is 0 for 2 today and 1 for his last 21.
Savis came in yesterday's game and ended up getting the win, pitching an inning with 1 hit. Second win on the year.
Grounded to short. And Pierre is out. Now, Savis is 13-1 in his big league career. And the last Yankee to win 13 of his first 14 decisions. You have to go back to 92 and 93 when Bob Wickman did it.
The versatility of what Savis has brought for the Yankees bullpen, to be able to pitch in any role. Really big asset when you got a guy that can go multiple innings or come in, get a few outs.
Bunted by Vizquel, bunted foul.
Throw any pitch in any count. Like the way his demeanor, approach to every at bat.
Sliced into left field. Foul, but a nice catch by the kid down the left field line. And he makes a friend, an A-Rod fan. And the 0-2 from Aceves. High fly ball down the right field line. Giving chase is Swisher, and he makes the play on the run. Nick got a good jump to haul it in.
Well, Vizquel getting a little breaking ball inside, pulling that pitch. Swisher going a long way, just dropping the barrel of the bat on that ball. Getting enough hang time for Nick Swisher to be able to easily catch it.
Here's Gordon Beckham, who is 0 for 4, and Aceves starts him off inside. Now goes outside, misses, and the count 2-0.
Beckham almost winning the American League Rookie of the Year last year. Andrew Bailey ended up getting it, and with the position change, hasn't found his stride yet with hitting. Good looking young player. Asked to do a lot, really. #1 pick at the University of Georgia's shortstop, Alexi Ramirez. They played him at third last year. Now they're putting him at second.
There's a strike. And now the count is full. And Andrew Jones is on deck. Aceves works quickly, stands right there on the rubber waiting for the sign. And the 3-2 popped up. First base side, Teixeira and Posada. And the ball lands in the Yankee dugout. Pettit makes a friend. He doesn't know who it is, but he finally rolls the ball there. That kid is pumped.
Just say get all-star votes, but pitchers don't get the votes from the fans. Got the cards out for the all-star game.
How many All-Star games you go to?
2.
Thrill?
Big time. Yeah. What an honor.
Three-two. High fly ball center field. Brett Gardner will shade his eyes from the sun, and he will put it away for the final out of a 1-2-3 inning. We go to the bottom of the 8th. Yankees down by 1. Ahead to the upcoming series against the Orioles and the Red Sox. It's all new. It's tomorrow at 5, and it's only on Yes. Now, how's this for a great Saturday afternoon? The kid gets the ball from Andy Pettit and then gets another ball at the end of the inning. Cash in, and it pays to be a cute kid.
Sitting in the front row.
Yep. Nick Johnson pinch hitting for Randy Wynn. And my thought is that they're going to end up losing the designated hitter here. I mean, Nick Johnson has played the outfield. I don't know if they want to weaken the defense that much in a close game. So he's pinch hitting for Wynn. Marcus Timms is the DH. We'll see how Joe Girardi plays it in the top of the ring. Yeah, that looks like they're going to put Timms out in left field. And all for naught as Nick Johnson continues his struggles and grounds out to second. Now you might say, well, what's the big deal? Well, the big deal is this. If it's a close game and you get up to the DH spot, there's what the Yankees have done so far in this game. Well, there aren't any pinch hitters to use other than Ramiro Pena, so you're going to have pitchers hit.
Or Cervelli.
Swisher to Sharon, you don't want to use your second catcher. Rodriguez and Gardner had 2 hits as well. So that's where we stand right now on the scorecard in the Yankee dugout. Putz leans in for the sign as Gardner digs in. And a strike.
Certainly see how it plays out, Michael, with Timms making the last out. We've got 8 batters.
Gardner shows bunt. Gardner's becoming that pesky hitter that pitchers just don't like to face. They desperately don't want him to get on base because they know there's a good chance it's a double. He takes pitches, he shows bunt, he's almost an agitator. And he's 7 for his last 14, which makes it even tougher.
Fight off pitches like that, and you watch a guy, they meaning the Yankee front office, believed in his hitting capabilities as he came up through the minor leagues. 300 in Trenton, 296 in 08 in Trenton. Aside from his great speed, you believe in your talent, and you believe that they'll eventually prevail at the major league level. Because of his ability to take more pitches and get pitches to drive, he's become a much better hitter.
1-2. Chopped up the middle. Vizquel will get rid of it quickly, knowing who's running. 2 outs. And that's going to bring up Derek Jeter.
Just with that kind of speed, it's almost really hard, so long as you don't strike out too often. It's just hard to get in the slump. You can plays like that, as you say, Michael. Omar Vizquel quickly getting it out of his glove. He would beat out 2-3 hoppers to the left side of the infield, throwing a couple bunts. Just love those kind of players. Speed, just create the havoc of, even when you get on base, if you don't steal the bag, and pitchers conscious of that ability to run, divert the attention, batter gets better pitches. Not to mention defensively, it's improved. It's what the White Sox intention was this winter, but going out getting Juan Pierre, still people covering the White Sox saying Juan Pierre is still an integral part of this offense as to whether it turns around and becomes more athletic and more stolen bases.
Jeter fouls it away. Count 1-1. Now, if they go to the 9th inning with a lead, the White Sox will bring in Bobby Jenks, their closer, for the bottom of the 9th. J.J. Putz, if he continues to be healthy, will emerge as the main setup guy. He's done both roles, both setup and closed. Count 1-2. And it was a tough break for the Mets last year because they really thought that the combination of J.J. Putz and Francisco Rodriguez would be a great 8-9 combo, but Putz just couldn't do it with a bad elbow.
That's a torque. The pitch, it was Roger Craig who was the one who really helped make the pitch the split finger in vogue. But such torque and stress on the elbow would happen to J.J. Putz. These split fingers, we saw Freddie Garcia yesterday with the split finger forkball type pitch. There it is right there. It's got a tumbling effect. Looks just like a fastball. But the torque on the elbow, which in most cases guys will end up hurting their elbow because of that pitch, just pops it out. Get full extension.
He had bone chips in the elbow. 2-2. Swing and a miss. Gets him. And J.J. Putz has retired 4 in a row, including 1, 2, 3. He got Jeter on the split. Comes out of his hand and tumbles under the swing. his second inning of work, and he deals to Andrew Jones. High, 1-0. Marcus Timms takes over in left field. Yankees lose the DH, so Aceves will bat the number 8 spot in the lineup.
The 6 batters in.
The 2-0. There's a strike. Bobby Jenks getting ready. Now, the big storyline in this game coming in was how was Javier Vasquez going to do? And Javier Vasquez gave up 3 home runs in 3 innings and didn't get it out in the 4th inning. So he ended up giving up those 5 runs in 3+. Didn't have great command. Didn't really have the put-away pitch. It seemed like he used the fastball a little more. I know you were charting that, Al. But, again, not effective.
No, I still think it's a situation where he's caught in between being aggressive and having the disposition of a confident guy making good pitches, realizing that if you give up a home run early in the game as he did in the 1st inning to Andrew Jones, that you have enough arsenal and moxie to get through it.
Grounded foul outside of 3rd.
You could say mechanical, or he's getting underneath it or pushing the ball. It's just really about making pitches. There's plenty enough stuff on the ball. Velocity, he did touch a couple on the Yankee Stadium gun here at 93.
Soft ground ball toward 3rd. Alex Rodriguez will gun it across and just get Andrew Jones for the 1st out.
Wow, that little slow roller, Alex having to come up, making a good firm throw. Just getting out Andrew Jones.
Well, that's going to bring up Paul Konerko with 1 out here in the top of the 9th inning. Yankees are trailing 7-6. Konerko today is 1 for 3, doubled his last time up. And there's a strike.
It's 11 home runs, lead the American League with that total. Good start for Konerko and a free agent walk here.
And the 0-1. Fouled away.
Should be a tight division all year long. I think most people thought it would be a 2 or 3 team race, the White Sox, the Tigers, and Minnesota. Cleveland's been a bit of a surprise early on, even though they're under 500. That whole division's so close.
The 0-2 missed inside 1-2. And the pitch from Aceves. Rocketed foul down the left field line. Crowd of 45,265 here on a beautiful Saturday afternoon. A day that made Al Leiter want to pitch again.
It did. Did it make you want to pitch?
Every day I want to play baseball.
No. Did you play?
Yes.
Yeah.
Not well, those who can't announce.
You pitcher? First base.
First base. Popped up. Shallow right. Cano. Ball taken now back to the infield skin. 2 away. .70 degrees at the start of the game. It's now 81 as we close in on 5 o'clock. Some of the jammed concourses here at the stadium. And Joe Girardi is going to match up now and bringing the left-hander Boone Logan to face Martin. Yankees are trailing 7-6. Logan's coming in. Like this, if you tie up the game, well, how long does Logan go? Because then after that, you got Jabba Chamberlain and Mariano Rivera, and both of them pitched yesterday. So, under the off chance that you go to extra innings, well, you might be right up against it in terms of who you could use and for how long. You might end up using Felipe Lopez to pitch. That's what happened in the Mets-Cardinals 20-inning game.
Well, you make a good point. And Jabba only went 2/3 of an inning yesterday. I think Boone Logan will be a guy that'll have to pitch a few innings. That'd be a good problem for Girardi to have, assuming they don't come back and win the game if it was a tie. You know, there's different managers. I think of Jim Leyland. He was always managing for the moment as opposed to worried about next inning or even tomorrow. And you couldn't mix and match so much to where you are without a player. You mentioned that Met game. That was 20 innings. 95.
I'll tell you what, there are managers who manage just for the day in the postseason, not on May 1st. And Joe managed that way in the postseason for sure, and there's nothing wrong with it if the Yankees score 2 runs in the bottom of the 9th inning. But are you thinking of extra innings, or does a manager not? Worked on that. Right there, 97-mile-an-hour fastball from Boone Logan. And he blows away Martin. Well, if the Yankees win, there's going to be pie in someone's face. We'll have to do it against Bobby Jenks. Plus, the team's reaction from the clubhouse. It's all coming up later on the WB Mason postgame. That's only on Yes. What type of postgame will it be? Will it be one of a positive nature in the Yankee clubhouse? Well, we'll see what they could do against Bobby Jenks. That's what's left of the old place. The new place, 45,000 plus today, and they'll have to try to do it against hard-throwing right-hander Bobby Jenks. 11 hits in 9 innings, 14 strikeouts, 6 walks. Bobby Jenks dissed a little bit on Monday at the White House by President Barack Obama, said that if his team had Mariano Rivera, they would contend all the time as well. And Bobby Jenks helped win a World Series for the White Sox. He's not Mariano Rivera.
Well, you said it, Michael. I think what the president was saying, any team would love to have Mariano.
All right, let's do the math. Last year, the Yankees had 15 walk-off wins in the regular season. And in the postseason, it was 2 walk-off wins, so 17 pies. Do they have one in their future right now? 2, 3, and 4 in the Yankee order, and there's the pie man, A.J. Burnett. We'll start it off with Nick Swisher. Jenks deals low. Hey, Al, how about Boone Logan? I mean, 97 miles an hour. Where did that come from?
I knew he had a plus fastball, but from the left side, 97. Boy, that's up in Matt Thornton territory. Very impressive.
Foul back. Logan used to pitch for the White Sox. Maybe he was amped up to face his former team. Yankees got him in the deal that brought Vasquez to New York from the Atlanta Braves. 1-1. High fly ball, right field. Kotze makes the play. Boy, Kotze and Andrew Jones were practically standing on the warning track to cut off the extra base hit. So now you have Teixeira and then Alex Rodriguez.
Oh, just on the inside part of the plate. He knew it. Just far enough in. Jenks got in on his hands. No doubles in the outfield, what Michael was talking about. You see where Kotze is literally on the warning track. That ball just kept drifting toward center field.
So here's Teixeira, 2 for 3 today with a walk. Jenks has allowed 2 runs in 2 of his last 3 outings.
Let's see how deep Kotze is. Literally 5-6 feet from the warning track. Maybe a little more than that.
Jenks in his career against the Yankees in 13 games, 1.26 ERA. (7-6) White Sox lead. Paul Konerko is so close to the line at first base now. He's guarding foul territory.
Yeah, that seems to be way excessive. You just want to make sure that the ball that won't get by you. I mean, he can lay on that ball.
And also, Jenks throws so hard. Why would you expect him to pull the ball to Sheriff from the left side?
You know what? When they say no doubles and they protect the line, obviously they're protected against this ball that's just going to stay inside the base. But that's a little close. You want to be far enough to where no hot smash, you're going to stop anywhere there. It's protecting foul territory right there.
Strike 3. No defense for that or needed for that as Teixeira goes down looking. And that'll leave it up to Alex Rodriguez.
You know, he just stayed hard the whole time, and Jenks has been throwing a lot more sliders. Perfect paint fastball in the corner. You can see Teixeira just couldn't pull the trigger. 95 miles an hour. Good fastball, good location for Bobby Jenks.
So here's A-Rod. He is 1 for 4, picked up an RBI on a fielder's choice. And there's a strike. Yankees have out hit Chicago 10-9, but they've been outscored 7-6. And that one is laced into right field, and Kotze is playing so deep. He gives up the single, so Alex Rodriguez, the tying run, is on base with 2 outs, and Here's Robinson Cano.
Well, the Yankees' hottest hitter, certainly in the month of April. It's a good matchup right here.
Joe Girardi is going for it. He's taking A-Rod out and putting in Ramiro Pena to pinch run. Maybe he's going to have Pena steal second. But now you've whittled your bench down to Francisco Cervelli. So Pena pinch running for Alex Rodriguez. James deals to Cano. Jumps on the first pitch and fouls it away. Well, Robbie's numbers speak for themselves. He's 0 for 3 of the walk today, 16 for his last 32, so that's a .500 batting average. This year he's hitting .414 against right-handers. And he's .386 overall with 8 home runs and 18 ribbies. Now, Robinson has one career walk-off home run, and it came against the White Sox last August 28th. 1 for 6 lifetime against Jenks. Slow roller. Back to Jenks. This will do it. And the Yankees lose the game 7-6. In the ninth inning, no runs a hit, no errors, and one man left on base. And this series is tied at a game apiece. Well, the Yankees were trailing this one 5-1. They ended up taking a lead 6-5. But Damaso Marte gave up a 2-run home run to A.J. Przinsky, and that, or not a 2-run home run, a 2-run double to Przinsky, and that's the difference in the ball game. 2 runs scored there.